Welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by Tums. Bad blood and the good word. It's what bonds and separates TCU and Baylor, the most frequently played matchup in Texas. Now, they've tried calling this game other names, but if you know, you know. This is the rivalry.
TCU and Baylor have played a lot of close games historically.
One of the more unsung rivalries in the state of Texas that dates back to 1899.
The greatest athlete playing quarterback in the country.
Baylor is going to have one of their biggest wins in years. Ball's in the air and it's intercepted.
TCU is undefeated still. That is a walk-off for the ages.
This is the Big 12 on ESPN, and we've got a matchup that is as Big 12 as you can possibly get. Welcome to Fort Worth. I'm Lowell Galindo here with Aaron Murray, Georgia legend, SEC's all-time leading passer. Lauren Sisler will join us from the field. Now, typically in a game like this, Josh Hoover from TCU, he's the marquee name at quarterback, second nationally in passing yards and touchdowns. He's actually second fiddle in this game because his counterpart for Baylor, Sawyer Robertson, the only guy ahead of him in those categories.
Yeah, as a former quarterback, these are the games I love to watch. Two elite quarterbacks dealing it. They find ways to incorporate all their targets on the outside. And it starts, first off, we're going to Sawyer Robertson, tremendous on the road, elite with the football in his hands. They ask him to do a lot, and he does it at a very high level. Flip over to Hoover, one of the fastest hands in all of college football, able to get it out quickly to his playmakers on the outside. And don't forget, too, he can push the ball vertically down the field also. So I love both these quarterbacks. Let's see who's the best in the Big 12 this afternoon.
Awesome crowd today here in Fort Worth. TCU won the toss. They will defer. So Baylor will open up with a football. TCU has won 8 of the last 10 in the rivalry. Baylor got them last year. And a return opportunity for Cole Wilson. Wilson finding the crease, tripped up shy of the 25-yard line, and that's where we will see Sawyer Robertson for the first time today. What is his game?
His game is everything. He really does a great job getting everyone involved once again. But when you do the scouting report on number 13, really there's the things that jump out to me. As I said, spreading the ball, 4 receivers with over 300 yards receiving this season. High football IQ, able to get them in and out of good plays. And then the short game accuracy is on a different level as well.
Never hurts when you got the most dominant tight end in the nation in there. Big number 1 in white, Michael Trick. Starting on the ground with Bryson Washington, most carries in the Big 12, 4th most rushing yards. Now, Baylor is coming off a bye week, focused on starting fast. They cannot bank on a 14-point fourth quarter comeback like they had their last game against Kansas State. Robertson looking for the adjustment and a little miscommunication there, looking for Ashton Hawkins.
Well, this is a TCU defense, which is one of the best on first and second downs in the country. The problem is, Lo, they're not very good on third down. Average yards a gain on third down for this defense, 7.7 yards. They get the job done, but now they got to figure out a way to get off the field.
44% on third down for TCU, 116 in the FBS. Robertson looking right side, coming back over the middle of the field, incomplete to Josh Cameron. And a 3-and-out forced by TCU.
And that's a missed throw. We talk about the accuracy from Sawyer Robinson. He had it right there, what we call a smash concept to the boundary. Over under read on that corner. Corner jumps the out route underneath, and you see the perfect gap. Put it on your big number 34, and you got a first down and extend the drive.
Here's Palmer Williams, leads the Big 12 in net yards per punt. Big booming right leg of Williams. Away clean. Jordan Dwyer has a chance from the 21. To the 30, rips through an arm tackle And the 30-yard line is where we will see Josh Hoover. Quarterback, give me the scout report on this elite quarterback.
Well, I brought it up in the open a little bit, but his ability to get the ball out with his quick hands and just overall athleticism, 2.5 seconds is on average. It's tough on a defense to be able to pin their ears back and get after him. And then the eye manipulation, being able to move second-level defenders to create space for his receivers to catch the football.
Something about playing Baylor as well. Third crack at the Bears, 78%. 4 touchdowns, no picks in the previous 2. Kevorian Barnes motions out, pump fake to him, crossing incomplete. His Major Everhart looking for some yak and taking it to the 39-yard line.
Well, he's going against a Baylor defense. He's going to play a lot of too-high safeties. So TCU struggled to run the football this year. Let's see if they commit to it, especially in these second and short situations.
They have been under 100 yards rushing in each of the last 3 games. Longest stretch for TCU in 20 years. And that one is too high for DJ Rogers, who's usually so reliable. 19 catches on 23 targets this year. Impact players brought to you by Mattress Firm.
Yeah, there's a lot of impact players in this ball game. First off, for Baylor, one of the best tight ends in the country, Michael Trick. Got to look out for number 1. Thorne on the outside is going to get some one-on-one matchups. Got to be on the lookout. Eric McAllister down the field, elite speed, and then Jamal's got to be able to get in the box and make some plays for that safety position for TCU too.
Eric McAllister lined up as a deep tailback, and it's going to go to Barnes, and Barnes muscling his way. Didn't need a lot, and he got just enough. First down, Horned Frogs. Don't let the numbers deceive you on Kevorian Barnes. He's missed a couple of games with injuries. When healthy, he can be an upper echelon Big 12 running back.
Oh, 100% he can, and they need to be able to stay committed to him in this game, especially with what we call lighter boxes, 5- and 6-man boxes. You're going to have numbers to block.
Hoover rips it. McAllister dropped it. And that was the epitome of what happened in their loss against Kansas State. Sonny Dykes said it was a disaster. Too many drops, 3 turnovers, 2 returned for touchdowns.
You got to be able to make plays. It rained a little bit in the pregame. Field's a little wet, but still, that's in the spot. You see him fading away from the football a little bit low. If you attack it with your hands, you're making an easier catch.
Rained at 10-17, but we're talking like a 2-minute shower. Barnes with the carry, little hop, and a 2-yard pickup on second down. Cooper Lands makes the stop. He had the big swat on the would-be game-winning field goal 2 weeks ago against Kansas State to preserve that victory. 3rd and 8 for Josh Hoover. Going underneath, TJ Rogers makes the catch here, and he's going to be brought down about 4 yards shy of the first down line. Kendrick Simpkins makes a stop.
And I love the pursuit from Baylor. We're going to take a look at this right now. They've struggled with tackling at points this season. Nice job understanding where the sticks are and then rally to make the tackle. Everyone come up. It's not just one defender, 3, 4, 5 guys. Staff's got to be happy with that first 3rd down stop for this defense.
So it was no hesitation. Punt team immediately comes out. This is Ethan Croft, first-year transfer from Texas Wesleyan. Cameron calling for the field catch and has it at the 23-yard line. So opening possession for 2 elite offenses. 0s on the board. Second drive coming up for Sawyer Robertson, trying to be better than that initial 3-and-out, in which he missed Josh Cameron wide open on 3rd down. Let's join Lauren Sisler for a LinkedIn sideline report.
Yeah, and Sawyer Robertson playing at a very high level heading into the second half of this football season. But every game there seems to be 1 or 2 drives where he gets really sloppy. And the coaching staff wants to hone in on that. He second guesses himself, trusts the reads instead of the play calls. That's what they really want him to focus in on. So in practice this week, it's been running 8-play drives, resetting, 8-play drives, resetting to build that consistency. And Coach Spavital said if we can clean up 1 or 2 of those drives per game where it looks like we lose focus, we'll be in a great spot to win this football game.
Found Ashton Hawkins sitting down for the completion there. Robertson's first of the game. Hawkins had a couple of critical drops 2 weeks ago in the comeback win against Kansas State. Here's Washington. He's ready to eat. Why not? Went for a career high 196 yards with 4 touchdowns last year against the Frogs.
Well, I love their new plan right now with Washington as well. I'm not giving him the ball as much as they did early on in the season where they relied on him over 60% of the time. When he's getting it, he's a lot more fresh right now.
Looking for Trigg, batted down, pressure at his face. Devin Deal breaks it up.
I want to go back to what Lauren was talking about and just the quarterback position, and especially in this offense, there's a lot put on your plate. You have to execute at a high level over and over again. Nice defensive play knocking that down. But you're going to make some mistakes, but you have to be able to give yourself a word or two to stay focused each and every time.
Certainly is another level there for Robertson. Despite his numbers, a lot of it because of volume. That's a rip. Trigg in and out. Incomplete or fumble? Incomplete. Michael Trigg, that's the only hiccup in his game. 6th drop. That's among the national leaders this season.
Well, you have to understand, too, going across the middle of the field, you have to catch it and lock it up. But really nice job by Johnson, our impact player of the game, for TCU on that side of the football, coming in there understanding, hey, big physical tight end, I gotta be just as physical to knock the ball out.
3rd and all 10. 4-man rush. Game's in the middle. Flag is down. Washington, open field tackle made by Austin Jordan. And it's gonna be a hold on Baylor.
Holding, offense, number 74, that penalty is declined. 4th down.
We're seeing a defense right now that we know can have success on 1st and 2nd down, but now having success early on in this game on 3rd down. That's been obviously the point of emphasis this week. Get off the field against this elite offense, put them in uncomfortable situations, and try to get our offense some good field position.
TCU's number 13 is now wearing number 42.
Got the initial 1st down pickup, and now Williams punts for the 2nd time. Dwyer retreating, catches it going back inside the 5. Now trying to make up for lost ground. Jacob Redding, not just a star safety, also still playing special teams, is able to make the stop.
An absolute boom of a punt down the field, and a mistake on the receiver right there. You have to let it go in the end zone when you're inside the 10-yard line. You're retreating like that, just let it go. Baylor takes advantage with a nice clean tackle.
Redding doing it all. Baylor was down 31-17 to Kansas State. A potential season-changing play was Redding's 66-yard pick 6 against Avery Johnson. Tough situation here for Josh Hoover. Can't go backwards. That's where McAllister is at his best, picking it out of the air to the 30-yard line. And the Big 12's leading receiver with his first explosive.
All this is an RPO, run-pass option. Safety comes down. And those are the quick hands we talk about with Josh Hoover, able to put it in the belly of the running back, pull it out, and throw a nice dime to McAllister for an explosive play.
2nd nationally at 26 yards per catch. That was 26. Barnes cut it back inside, and the leader of this Baylor defense, Keaton Thomas, is there to make the tackle. 2nd in the Big 12 with 49 tackles coming into the game.
And they got to stay disciplined here, too, defensively. Those 2nd-level defenders, there's the balance of being aggressive, but then you have to worry about, like the play we just saw, Hoover's ability to throw it over the top. But first things first, stop the run game.
Hoover in rhythm. Jordan Dwyer, transfer from FCS Idaho. 2nd most catches in the Big 12 without a drop. He's reliable.
I think you used a good word there, rhythm. These quarterbacks almost act like point guards. They see green grass. They understand where the weaknesses are in the defense, and they exploit it. So for these defenses, you have to change the picture post-snap. Show too high, go to single high. You can't let them know what's going on pre-snap and then stay in that defense.
And it looks so much better than they did off the jump against Kansas State last week. Sonny Dykes told us, after a game like that, you just turn the page. McAllister popped, got out of it. Tough to bring him down, and Keaton Thomas finally does. Also getting assists from Kyler Jordan, who had McAllister's legs. Big point of emphasis for TCU. How can we get Eric McAllister the ball early? Sonny Dykes told us just one touch in the first half last week.
Yeah, they have to find ways, not just deep balls down the field, but little touches to utilize his speed.
Barnes gets the carry, still looking to break one. Baylor refusing to let that happen, but a fine surge takes it back to the original LOS.
And it's been a problem all year. 29% of the carries are stopped at the line of scrimmage or behind for this offense. So you say you want to commit to it, but it's hard to do. And Dave Aranda and his staff understand what the task is heading into this third down, put them in these long situations, and then play the sticks.
Hoover, all morning long to throw, now wants to scramble. Throw on the run, tight window, and broken up. Caldre Williford, he's going to have to be huge for this Baylor defense. They are playing without a starting corner in Tevin Williams III.
Yeah, it's the last thing you want is to be out a corner heading into this game, and tight coverage on the outside. Well-placed football, but better job defensively from Williford to be able to put that hand in there and knock it out and get off the field.
And what were we saying off the top? Two elite defenses going head-to-head?
Yeah, exactly. Two defenses making plays early on. We've seen some contested throws go the defense's way, knocking some balls out.
So the fourth punt, two for each team. Cameron backing up, fair catch, and takes it at the 6-yard line. So pumping up the quarterback so far has been the two D's stealing the show here in Fort Worth.
ESPN College Football is presented by Tums Fast Heartburn Relief, so you can love food back. And in part by 911, Thursday at 8 Eastern on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Well, when you're in the Metroplex, make sure to do yourself a favor. Actually visit Fort Worth. This is a legit town. A lot going on. A lot of classic Texas heritage. Dave Aranda, originally from California. This is the point in last season, this week, when they started to turn it around from here on, won their last 6 in the regular season to give them such high hopes coming into this year.
Yeah, and if you're able to win this game against this quality opponent on the road, too, obviously gives you a lot of momentum for the second half of the season.
Hoover was backed up on the last drive. Now Robertson backed up. And we'll go to the ground, and Zach Chapman, Andy Avalos, defensive coordinator, pointed him out. It's a guy that's really starting to come on.
Yeah, they said playing his best football these past 2 weeks. And big guy, 6'5", 260. Going to have to continue to play like that in this football game this afternoon.
Bryson Washington, fourth leading rusher in the Big 12, bottled up there. Pressure, Robertson's cool with it in his face. Did he make the catch? He did! Ashton Hawkins, a magician on the sideline.
Well, it starts up front, Lowell. You saw the quarterback, Robinson, just casually going through his reads, and then, oh, okay, let me throw the ball late down the field, and Hawkins going up, high pointing, only 5'10", 168, but showing some vert.
41 yards on a pass that was absolutely ripped. Now the quick screen. Kobe Prentice will try to shake free and takes it to the 45-yard line.
Let's go back to the catch right there. You need a couple more views of number 6, one-on-one on the outside. The concentration, strong hands, and 100% reels it in the entire way. It's a nice play to get out of your own end zone. 30 passes of 20-plus yards. This is not just a dink and dunk offense, ladies and gentlemen. They can push the ball vertically down the field.
Only team in the country with 4 players with at least 300 receiving yards. Hawkins came into this game at 304, picked up 41 more there. 4-man rush. Robertson will roll, and he's popped. Dropped by Devin Deal, forcing the incompletion. Twice now, the big number 11 has been in Robertson's grill.
I love number 11, and they're able to do so much because of it. They can go 4 down, they can go 3 down. His football IQ is on a different level. They're even at the 3-tech position. A little TE, tackle and end stunt. It'll put the pressure on the quarterback.
What a crowd today in Fort Worth for the 121st playing of the Revivalry. I'll need them here, 3rd and 7. Washington nowhere to go. Hit immediately at the line. Nnamdi Obi-Izor, 21 tackles over the past 2 games. He is in rhythm.
Love the defensive call. They got into somewhat of like a bear front and it allowed number 4 just to roam free. You see everyone's taken account for at the offensive line and no one is left. And then tackle the backfield, and Baylor goes for it more than anyone else in the country. Let's see what they got.
Robertson to Cameron, and the first down pickup. The 8th 4th down conversion TCU has allowed this season. Only 2 teams are worse on 4th down.
Nice route comes in. Think like he's going to cross. Put your foot in the ground, break out, and that ball has to be perfect to catch it and then get upfield for the first down.
Robertson rolling, looking back middle, checking down to Washington through his hands. Austin Jordan was breathing down his neck.
Back to that 4th down play. This is a defense, struggles on 3rd and long, struggles on 4th down, and Baylor, they love to go for it, and the reason why, they got a quarterback that knows where his one-on-ones are. Let's see if this offense can take advantage. Big play, 4th down conversion. They got this thing moving.
This is where you see a drop-off, though, in the run game. The freshman Caden Knighton now checks in for Washington. Patient run. And there's a lot of purple jerseys rallying to the football. Jamel Johnson, one of the top tackling safeties in all of college football, is there.
Well, and they don't miss tackles, and they get guys to the ground. 1.98 yards after contact is what this defense has given up.
Here comes the rain on 3rd and 9.
Not what I want as a quarterback. Start raining on this critical 3rd and no passing situation.
Cameron with the screen, drop shy. Can only imagine a 4th down attempt is coming up here. If you already got one, do it again. That's so perplexing about Baylor. They're not good on 3rd down. They rely on this 4th down.
Well, I think they know they're going to be aggressive, so they can call 3rd down plays that give them a better opportunity on 4th in a more manageable situation.
How can you go inside to protect yourself from the rain right now? Come on, people. Fourth and 5. Robertson floating it sideline. That's going to draw a flag. Ashton Hawkins was mugged by Channing Canada.
Through a wounded duck. That ball was just a punt down there, but one-on-one.
Pass interference, defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
And Canada gets picked on. Lots of grabbing, falls down, pulls the helmet shoulder pads to the ground. Easy call. And now the rain starts to die a little bit. Hopefully the ball's dry for Robertson as the drive continues.
10th play of the drive. That's required 2 4th down conversions. Sawyer with the comebacker. Cameron slips a tackle down to the 3-yard line. The team leader, the man that never complains about the amount of targets he gets, just plays winning football.
I love 34. He's obviously a great catcher, playmaker, physical. willing to get dirty in the run game too. And see that play, and the offensive line taking care of business up front, giving the quarterback plenty of time to work left all the way back to right to find Cameron for a completion. That's where you like to just be able to run the football now, bringing in their main man, Washington.
No Michael Trigg in the game. Typically a top red zone threat. Washington will take it. Washington down to the 2-yard line. Austin Jordan with the stop. Now, Bryson Washington has lost the gloves. We saw him start the game with gloves like he did against Kansas State. Third series, fumbled, lost the gloves. Now he's going full Joseph Manjack out there.
I love it. Hey, listen, it's a little bit wet right now, too. You may see some more of these players take their gloves off in this game.
Direct snap. Washington denied. Jamel Johnson with his second huge stop. 38 tackles on the season, just 2 missed opportunities.
The coach staff told us yesterday, Jamel Johnson is so good at fitting in the run game, seeing where the weakness is, filling the holes, and making a big stop there on second down.
Can TCU do it 2 more times?
I keep running the football, give it to number 7.
Direct snap again. Does he muscle in? Waiting for the call. Yes! Bryson Washington caps the longest touchdown drive of the season for Baylor. 92 yards, which required 2 conversions on 4th down.
The big back, and this is why they've been not using him as much the past couple weeks. Keep him healthy for situations like this. 216, using all of that to get in the end zone for the first score of the afternoon.
Had the bye week, 19 carries, that was it the previous 2 games. I don't know if Washington's going to be fresh at all from this point on, but after that, probably the freshest he's going to get.
A little fresher.
And Baylor makes it 7-0, scoring the first points of this rivalry.
What an incredible drive for the Baylor Bears. It started with Hawkins going up, a little Moss action. One-on-one, let me find one of my top receivers down the field. Couple 4th down conversions, and then a touchdown by their running back. Baylor's up 7-0.
A little purple rain inside Amy G. Carter Stadium, home of the TCU Horned Frogs. And this is why I love college football. It doesn't matter what the elements are. You stay in your seat for your team.
You tell them, well, what a drive. 13 plays, 92 yards over 6 minutes.
And this is going to sell to the back of the end zone. TCU football at the 25. Kevin Connors, hope the weather is well where you are. Two elite quarterbacks there with Darian Mensah and Haynes King. Two elite here with Josh Hoover for TCU, who gives it up to Kevorian Barnes. And on the other side, Sawyer Robertson. They are the top 2 leaders in the FBS in passing yards and passing touchdowns. However, it was Bryson Washington with the touchdown run on the 3rd drive of the game for Baylor to start the scoring. Hoover, quick strike, and slipping out of a tackle is Jordan Dwyer.
We got a bunch of Joseph Manjacks out here right now for TCU. 3 of the 4 receivers without gloves at the moment. We're concerned, though, how does it affect the quarterback throwing the football? We're going to find out.
And Manjack is the 2nd receiver to the right of the formation.
This is the end of the first quarter.
And that takes us to the end of the first quarter here in Fort Worth. Huge game for both these teams, trying to keep pace and stay alive in the race for the Big 12 title. Baylor leads 7-0. Today's More Than a Home team is brought to you by Cracker Barrel. 84 players on TCU's roster have played high school football in the great state of Texas, most among the Lone Star State's Power 4 programs, 13 of today's 22 starters. Now, Baylor has shut out an opponent in a conference game in the first quarter for the first time since doing it here in 2023. Problem is what happened after that. TCU scored 42 points and won 42-17. Hoover to throw. McAllister goes up to bring that one down.
Well, as we know, this is an offense that can score. They can score quickly. So, yeah, great job. Helped out by their offense. I think big thing, too, time of possession. Being on the field for 6 minutes of that one drive kept that defense off the field.
Back to Barnes, looking for room, breaks a tackle, and fights through two more Bears. That's a first down pickup for Kevorian Barnes, transfer from UTSA. He could be critical in the second half run.
You would love to, just to be able to hold on to that time of possession for themselves, create a long drive, give their defense a break. Nice blocking up front, especially from the tight end, Chase Curtis.
Keep rolling it. Both coaches telling us this game could come down to who runs the football more effectively.
Well, you're going against a Baylor defense that primarily wants to be in some sort of too-high safety look, whether that's cover 2 or cover 4. You're seeing bigger bodies bringing in 2 tight ends this drive to be able to run the football, see if they stay at it.
Barnes had 100 yards in his TCU debut against North Carolina. Been quiet and injured since then. Good shiftiness, and that's another first down pickup from the native of St. Augustine, Texas.
Well, they continue to do what they do defensively, just play this lighter box with 2 safeties, and for TCU, take advantage of it. You see the rushing yards in the Big 12. They have to be better in this game.
Another carry for Barnes. A lot of room to run. Stiff arm, but not enough to get away from DJ Coleman. He's the top tackler, doesn't miss many for the Baylor D.
Well, the safeties and second level, third defensive level, the players have to make plays for this defense when they play this format against the run. Just too many blockers. You see the safeties. Look at this, 2 safeties high.
5 runs for Barnes on 7 plays this drive. Make it 6 for 8. Keep feeding the beast. Jacob Redding is there to hold him up right at the first down marker. And it is a first down pickup for Kevorian Barnes.
And let's continue this conversation. I mean, for Baylor, the goal is, hey, we're going to play this defense. We are who we are. And we think the offense is going to make a mistake at some point. And we just got to wait back and take advantage of that opportunity when it comes.
Hoover pump fake. Sideline, McAllister bobbled it. High throw, incomplete. LeVar Thornton in coverage.
Well, LeVar Thornton is the guy this defense needs to step up. We talk about them playing this too-high safety, but they are going to mix in some single high. They just have to do it. And he's someone that they believe very talented, a little bit inconsistent at times. He's going to have to be a difference maker in the ball game.
No Tevin Williams, starting corner for Baylor. LeVar Thornton is going to have to pick up some of that slack. Trent Battle, the running back, a little more shifty and explosive than Barnes. He got lit up by Devin Bobby. Second most tackles on the team with 34. Bobby's always active.
Oh my God, he came flying down right there. And this defense understands, hey, we're presenting an opportunity to run the football, so us as safeties have to be willing to fill, add bodies in quickly. And number 3 came flying down there to make the tackle.
TCU with an elite third down offense, 11th best to the FBS.
And McAllister in the slot, bottom of the screen, trying to match him up with a safety.
going that way.
Damn.
They got the matchup, and he beats Bobby for the first down. And a flag.
Ooh. We're going to get Tyler Turner. Possible targeting on 17 or late hit. That's the matchup they wanted. They put McAllister one-on-one with Bobby, receiver on safety. And they went right at it to get the first down.
How quickly are you recognizing that as a quarterback?
I mean, you put him there for a reason. I get to line of scrimmage, I see that matchup, I know I'm going
Rolling
there.
on the field was a catch. After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense number 3, Heffman's the goal, first down.
So it's on Devin Bobby for the late hit, no targeting.
One-on-one. I don't know how that's on Bobby. I think that has to be on 17, right?
In the red zone now, where Eric McAllister usually gets a lot of touches. Leads the team with 7 red zone targets, but only 2 are catches.
17 was on the late hit.
And they corrected that. Turner with the late hit.
2 high safeties. So look at this run box. You got to run the ball in this situation.
Hoover pulls it to the tight end. DJ Rogers. His second touchdown of the season.
What do I know? Just throw the football. Little RPO, and all eyes are going to be on that middle safety. If he comes up, you have an opportunity to throw it. He settles, and then Hoover does what he does best. Quick hands, up and over for the touchdown.
Well, all the attention on Michael Trigg. DJ Rogers is the man to find the end zone first. He's no slouch. He's now got 20 catches on the season.
All eyes on 17. You're reading him right now. If he comes up, I'm going to replace him with my talented tight end. He comes up and over. And TCU is on the board.
I got a couple of matchups in the SEC that will help figure out who is going to the CFP. 3:30 on ABC and the all-new ESPN app. It's Ole Miss and Georgia. Top 10 matchup there. 7:30, Alabama and Tennessee. Into the end zone, Baylor football at the 25-yard line. Now, this is a matchup that can launch you to national prestige. Heck, in the case of RG3, win you a Heisman. 2011, it was an upset against a top 15 TCU team to open up the season. RG3, 359 yards, 5 touchdowns. They won this on a field goal, and then Robert Griffin III, the great one, won the Heisman, and he has himself the statue in Wake.
A well-deserved statue after what he did that season. Absolutely terrific and a great way to kick off his Heisman campaign with a rivalry game victory.
Art Briles, his head coach. Briles' son, Kendall, the OC for TCU. Robertson, just so calm in that one. Out of reach there for the freshman, Caden Knighton. What are you seeing, though, from his pocket demeanor?
Well, he's got all day. It looks like he's playing 7-on-7 back there. You see right there, he's working all the way from right back to left. Usually makes that throw. Been a little bit inaccurate, a couple drops. See the 7-14, the rain has calmed down. So hopefully we see some of these playmakers reel in some of those catches that were missed early on.
No one has more passing yards and touchdowns this season than Sawyer Robertson. He's got 77 yards, no touchdowns so far. Inside pressure, gets away from Zach Chapman. Ball is tipped, nearly caught, nearly picked off by Caleb Elarms Orr. Wild sequence.
Hey, quarterback's worst nightmare when that ball gets popped up in the air. You're just praying someone on offense can knock it down or it falls safely. Now 3rd and long situation. See if these fans can make some noise. And number 1 trick in the slot. You have to find a way to start getting him more involved in the game.
Climbing in the pocket. Cameron with the catch. A little behind him, but it does not matter for the sure-handed standout from Cedar Park, Texas.
Once again, the offensive line doing the job that needs to be done up front, and then a quarterback just methodically moving up in the pocket, keeps his eyes up, and delivers a strike.
The freshman from Oklahoma, Knighton, trying to get small, and it works. He picks up 5 yards. Obiaizor with the tackle.
He did try to get small there, though. He looked like, I don't know if he was preparing for contact or trying to hide behind this big offensive line, but weaseled his way in there for a nice gain on first down.
It's been a good offensive line. Fugar, Lingel on the left side. Both of those players, the second most snaps in college football at their respective spots. And Knighton still fights, gets a yard. It's been an interesting study watching Knighton. He's had to pick up a lot of the slack. Dawson Pendergrass is supposed to be the two-headed beast with Bryson Washington. He gets hurt in preseason camp. So now Knighton has to pick up slack, and it's done a solid job, but there has been some boneheaded plays, like last week, an 11-yard loss where he was trying to do too much.
Listen, he's just a freshman. I think that's the problem right now, especially in these third down situations, relying on freshman running backs to go out there, especially in pass protection, and get the job done.
And Turner, another freshman, checks in. Play action, wide open, missed him. Kobe Prentice was going to waltz into the end zone, and just too much hot sauce from Sawyer Robertson.
And the ball was just too low. You have to be able to get that up to give your guy an opportunity to make a play on it where he's not diving, because they set it up perfectly on the outside. Both defenders coming up to stop the little bubble screen. And he knows it, man. You put it on a talented receiver, he has a chance. And as we know, Baylor's going to go for it on fourth down.
Going for it on the third time. First two have been successful, a catch and a PI. Pressure, Deal was on him, and Deal does it. Devin has taken over this game. Third time he's been in the mug of Sawyer Robertson.
Move number 11 around. He is an absolute disruptor at the defense position. Finally, a fourth down, and the defense finds a way to get off the field and get their offense a great field possession.
Call it the Revivalry. 121st meeting all time between TCU and Baylor. Usually we're talking like 60-58, 45-43. We got a defensive showdown here. Sonny Dykes a little frustrated, said we're disappointed with the way the season has started. We got a lot of time left. Now, ESPN FPI actually projects them to run the table with the exception of a loss on the road against BYU and Provo, trying to avoid their third Big 12 loss, which would probably knock them out of the race. That's Jordan Dwyer with the catch here on first down.
It's a talented football team, no doubt about it. Like you said, a little upset with some of the games they played. I feel like they've not reached their full potential. They got dudes on both sides. They can win a lot of games down the stretch.
Barnes wants all that heat. Keaton Thomas is there to make the stop. That's tackle number 7. He's got a tackle on 25% of the snaps in this game. Sis.
Yeah, Coach Dykes pointed out that they've won more games than anybody in the Big 12 over the last 2 years, but it doesn't feel that way right now. That tells you how high the bar has gotten. People are going to have to reset their expectations because, y'all, the Big 12 is wild. Anybody can beat anybody, but he said the message here, relax, have fun, don't forget who you are.
Hoover wants to throw it, and that's twice now he's sailed passes high to Eric McAllister, 6'3", 205.
And those are the plays that they want to be able to get McAllister the football. It's not just, hey, this guy can run go balls or he can run a post route, but can we get him involved in the intermediate game? And that one right there is an easy completion. Yeah, you got to kind of maneuver around a blitzing linebacker, but still should have been a completion.
Joseph Manjack, coming off a one-catch game at Kansas State, only 8 yards, has not been targeted by Josh Hoover yet. Also have not seen Ed Small, the freshman dealing with turf toe. There is Barnes. He is ready for a fight. Physical brand of football he's bringing to this team.
And I think you just have to stay committed as an offensive staff. Like, yeah, you want to do all this passing and throwing, but you can just hand the number 2 and get 3-4 yards. Do that on first and second down. Don't wait for second down just to hand it and get some positive yards against a defense where you don't love throwing it.
Raining the hardest it has since the start of this game. 3rd and 7.
Well, this is what they like the screen game, especially the number 14, Manjack. He said has not been involved yet in the game. See if they can find him.
Try off those hands, big boy. Barnes to the left side. He's got room. Devin Bobby brings him down. There is a flag down in the backfield. It looks like Josh Hoover is a little shaken up.
Look at the left tackle get out there in space. Bit of a log the defensive end.
Holding offense, number 56, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
That was
3rd down.
That was just frustration on the face of Hoover.
Oh, man, unfortunate because it was set up perfectly. You get a defensive end crashing, logged him inside, but still get the holding call. And it is coming down right now.
What does this do for a quarterback, these conditions?
Yeah, you wish you could talk back to the coach and say, please don't make me throw it down the field. Screens, hand the football off.
How about our student section, though? Out of way, TCU showed up early for an 11 a.m. local kick, and you're still here with this downpour. 3rd and 17. Hoover just guides that to Dwyer. Did he lose control, lose grip there? That looked different.
Yes, but it's ball soaking wet. It's going to be different. You are just essentially trying to push it out. There are certain quarterbacks, usually bigger hands, can handle the weather a little bit better than others. But yeah, it's difficult, man, to be able to throw that football. And you see from a receiver standpoint too, not trusting your hands to catch it and letting that ball come into your body too much.
So the key hold moves them back. Would have been a 1st down. Now they got a punt. Cameron lets this one sail into the end zone, so it's going to be Baylor football at the 20. It's getting loud. It certainly is wet here inside A&G Carter Stadium. Casey, it was a slow start here, but on Baylor's 3rd drive, they went 92 yards to get on the board. Bryson Washington, 4th leading rusher. Ball is out. TCU is signaling that it is their football. Messing with the wet rock, and for the 2nd straight game, Bryson Washington coughs it up. He does not do that.
Well, you know who it was defensively that caused all the chaos? Number 11, Devin Deal, coming off the edge. He has been all over the field. Watch 11 coming down, committing to it. He's the first one. And then from there, able to get the football, number 97 as well. Paul Oyewale forcing the fumble.
Bryson Washington started this game wearing gloves. He dropped a pass early, ditched the gloves. Did that come back and haunt him there? Had a fumble in the last game, a comeback win against Kansas State. TCU will try to cash in. DJ Rogers capped their lone touchdown drive. Barnes sifting through the Baylor defense, still rumbling to the 5. Quick to the line. 1st and goal, Frogs. Barnes wants it, can smell it, getting the push, end zone. Kevorian Barnes will not be denied.
Though for a football team that has struggled to run the football the past 3 weeks, you know that has to feel good. Sudden change, get the ball and just hand it to your big back and let him rumble and stumble. And this offensive line push him into the end zone to take the lead.
That's why you cannot be deceived when you look at TCU's rushing numbers on the year. 3 straight under 100 on the ground for the first time in 20 years. Well, that was 2 games without Kavorian Barnes because of an injury and just got going last week against Kansas State. If he's healthy and doing that, this is a more dynamic, potent offense.
Let's go back to the 2 big runs from the 5'9", 220-pound running back offensive line doing their thing, but this is a man that's healthy, feeling good, playing with some juice right now and knows that, hey, it's a little bit wet outside. My number's gonna be called more in this ball game. And then lowering the boom, and I love number 51, the center, Colin Deary, pushing him in.
Just want to paint the sequence that we saw. It absolutely was dumping rain. A lot of the casual fans went to the drier ground. The student section stayed there, were rowdy. They're not supposed to make noise on a 3rd and long when their offense is on the field, but they still did because they were so pumped up to be in that moment.
Tacos.
Yeah, because there is a Taco Bell Live Mass student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Mass Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? Your front runner on this day, those guys and gals. They're playing Rihanna, Umbrella. It was epic, people. Well done, TCU student body. Cole Wilson tries to get some juice going for Baylor. And Wilson hits a brick wall, bounces off of it, and takes it to the 27-yard line. Lauren.
You know who is celebrating that last sequence more than anyone? It is TCU defensive coordinator Andy Avalos. He said to me before this football game, remember, he said he wanted it to rain, he wanted it to get messy out here. Well, like they do in baseball, he drew the sea turtle out on the field. It's kind of like good juju, and of course it's where it catches the rain. He figured if he draws the sea turtle, then maybe it'll rain, and it obviously worked in their favor. He is fired up. This team is fired up, man. There's been a huge energy shift here on the sidelines and in this stadium.
Dave Aranda also told us when they got sizzling last year and in the past, it's been because they're winning the turnover margin. Now -1 in this game. But back to Bryson Washington. His first carry after he coughed it up, picks up about 3.5.
I was saying, like, listen, a rainy afternoon does favor TCU. They are the better of the 2 defenses. And if they know that, hey, they got to commit to the run a little bit more, they can be more aggressive second and third level and come down.
Heavy workload for Washington this season. No running back at the Big 12 with more carries. Sawyer Robertson looking sideline, broken up by Javon McIver. Second target to Michael Trigg. He is yet to haul one in.
And the pass is just late. Trigg is 2 or 3 steps into his route already before the ball is coming out. Allows a DB to make a break on it, to get a hand in there. One is too talented not to find a way, especially on this 3rd down. You put him in the slot, your number 3 receiver. See if you can give him the football.
3rd and 6 by the band and by the students.
Watch out, number 11. Where is he at defensively? He's roaming around that linebacking spot. He's been creating a lot of havoc in the pass game.
Here comes Devin Deal with the inside rush. Is it picked? No, but broken up. 3rd target to Trigg, still shut out. And here's a flag. They could get Jamel Johnson for for taunting here, because immediately started barking at Michael Trigg after that PBU.
Talking, a lot of excitement, obviously very passionate game right now after the last defensive possession, getting the turnover.
After the play, unsportsmanlike defense number 2 for taunting. 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Saw a sequence like this last night with North Carolina and Cal. ball, and it almost cost Cal the football game.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. You're playing great defense right now. Created a turnover, which turned into points. About to get off the field. And then a little bit too emotional for number 2, who's had himself a pretty darn good game. And you see the jawing back and forth.
Meanwhile, Sawyer Robertson's struggling. 1 completion in the last 7 attempts. Washington, patient run into plus territory.
It just doesn't look as confident right now throwing the football. You said missed that 1 for 7. The ball is late. I don't know if it's in his mind. Wet football, I'm trying to get a better grip, but just not throwing with a lot of confidence is number 13.
And he's got time, but runs out of it. And that's what Baylor fans want to see him do more. Use the legs. Takes this to the 45.
Well, use your legs because so many defenses are dropping 7, dropping 8, trying to cover this passing attack on the back end. There's room for him to run the football. You see there's nothing open down the field. It's only a 4-man rush. Linebackers are dropping. Get up there and get some positive yards. Now we get knowing, hey, we had 2 more downs to get a first here.
3rd and 2, right up the gut. Michael Turner to the 30, and the freshman comes up with one of his biggest runs on the year.
Well, Caleb Elarms or just overplays it. Watch number 3, comes all the way to the other side, and he said, thank you very much. Leave a big gap for the speedy number 23, Michael Turner, to hit it for the first down.
4-star recruit out of North Richland Hills. Trigg in the slot to the right, still does not have a catch. Looking that way, coming back left. Sitting down is Cole Wilson, and Cole Wilson now has a catch in 38 straight games. 3rd longest active streak of the FBS.
All of a sudden, a silly penalty a few minutes ago could have been off the field. Now Baylor's right now on the 20-yard line, opportunity to put some points on the board.
Robertson, flag is out, avoids the pressure, and we'll just take this back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Sidney Fugard, number 69, on the outside. Looks like he gets his hands a little bit too high and yanks down the defensive end.
Holding. Offense, number 69, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Bottom of your screen, 69. Good move, and who do you buy? Number 11. I absolutely love Devin Deal. He makes this defense's front 7 go with everything he's able to do, and then just a motor through the roof.
Fugard came into this with 8 penalties called against him. Only 2 players in the FBS with more. And there's the DC, Andy Avalos. Back to the freshman, who tries to find some daylight to the 25.
I like the commitment right now to the run game and giving Bryson Washington a little bit of a break after the fumble the last possession, allowing these young running backs to get in here, get some touches.
Second and 15 for Robertson. Trigg with his first catch at the 11. No, they're saying incomplete. Denied for the 4th time. The question that TCU asked themselves, are linebackers going to be fast enough? Are safeties going to be big enough to stop Trigg?
The ball's just dying right now, but hey, listen, that's on Trigg. Ball's low, I get it, but he's too talented. You want to be a first-round draft pick in the NFL, I don't care if it's wet outside, you have to find ways to make big-time catches down in the red area.
Crowd is a factor. Robertson against a 4-man rush. No one home. It looked like he wanted Trigg, but obvious miscommunication, not on the same page. Field goal team coming out.
Yeah, Triggs breaking in. He wants him to break out. I don't know if it's one of their option routes they like to do with their receivers. And that's the beauty about this offense. When they see green grass, guys are able to go to it. But it does cause some situations like that where one guy thinks one way and the other one's thinking the other.
Connor Hawkins was the hero of the last game. Had a 53-yard game winner against Kansas State. This from 43. And it is money. So Baylor with the bounce back. The man probably taking the biggest sigh of relief is Jamel Johnson, who is called for that taunting penalty. You'd much rather it be 3 than 7.
You'd much rather it be no points at all if your offense hit the ball with more time. I think that's the thing, too. You gave up 3 points, but you also gave up precious time. We're still 2 minutes to go. Your offense should have the ability to go down there and try to score some points.
It's like 3 more possessions in the Big 12 before that happens.
That's plenty of time.
For 20 years, All-State has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all students. Thank you to All-State. Slow start here, and a nice, cool, fall-feeling day in Fort Worth. On the 3rd drive of the game, however, 2 big plays from Ashton Hawkins, including a PI on 4th down, set up Bryson Washington's touchdown run to make it 7-0 Baylor. TCU came back with a 75-yard, 12-play touchdown drive, with Josh Hoover finding his tight end DJ Rogers. And we had Barnes finding the end zone with the help from his O-line to make it 14-7. And that field goal makes it 14-10. Jacoby Hayes from the goal line and takes it to the 23-yard line. That brings us to the 2-minute timeout.
This is the
TCU
2-minute timeout.
will try to add for the half. Kevin, look forward to that, and this is something that Josh Hoover is very comfortable in. 2-minute drill, trying to add some points here before this game goes to the break. Now, we are flirting with some lightning in the area, so that is also a factor and something that we are tracking. Eric McAllister motions out of the backfield. Hoover is just going to dirt this one. No one home, 2nd down.
And I think some miscommunication. You see him give a little signal to one of his receivers like, hey, you're supposed to run a screen route. What's going on here?
Never the quarterback's fault, though, correct?
Of course not. I'm here to defend my quarterbacks. It is not. It was a screen run. The offensive line do it. One of the receivers messed up, of course.
Ivorian Barnes has been the story. 14 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Quick screen and bobbled and caught by Major Everhart, who has a couple of catches in this game. Had only 2 coming into this. Junior out of Amarillo.
Yeah, that ball was hot and a little, what we call ugly, little bit of a duck there. But still, nice job reeling it in 3rd and medium situation.
TCU trying to avoid their 3rd loss in Big 12 play. Both these teams need this win. Matthew Fobbs-White was off sides if they want to stay alive in this Big 12 race. So that should have been free play, and it's going to be 5 yards off the penalty.
Offside. Defense number 50, 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Nice job. I love the use at home of the hard count. See if you get a free 5 yards. And they, listen, they're running the ball so well right now. This gives them that opportunity where if it is a favorable box to just hand the football off, give it to number 2 and see what he can do with it to get the 1st down.
Barnes is not going to be in the game. It's going to be Jeremy Payne, but he's out at the top of the formation on the left side. Empty for Hoover and a flag. And it's going to be movement against TCU. So you got 5 yards, now you give them back. Love that, don't you?
False start. Offense number 54, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, they had the same matchup they got earlier with McAllister, 1-on-1 in the slot. So you set it up perfectly. and then you get the 5 yards right back, unfortunately. So now we're back to what we were originally at, 3rd and long. They got number 1 bottom of the screen. If he gets one-on-one, he's your guy. If not, you have 3 receivers to the field.
LeVar Thornton manning him up, which has been a frequent matchup on the outside. And that's it right there, Thornton and McAllister. 4-man rush, Hoover is comfortable, and so is DJ Rogers, his second catch. Caleb Burns gonna break that one up.
A huge 3rd down conversion, stay on the field. Plenty of time right now. All 3 timeouts. Feels like an eternity for this offense.
Little play action. Hoover, eyes downfield. The dump at the last moment to Rogers. And let me correct myself. That is now catch number 4 for the senior tight end out of Washington.
Yeah, he's having himself a ball game. Even a few plays ago on that 3rd down. Really does a nice job working with his quarterback. And same thing here. Staying alive, just playing basketball. That's all it is. Defender comes up, pitch it right over his head to get the completion.
Kendall Bryles told us coming into this game, scrambles from Josh Hoover would be critical. Into the belly of Jeremy Payne, and he is upended by LeVar Thornton in the run game.
I also brought up, too, DJ Rogers. They're waiting for his breakout game. They love his talent, love his skill set, and he's having a great first half at the moment.
5th straight game with at least 3 catches for big number 0. Back to the ground, and in the backfield is Jackie Marshall, a name that we thought we would call a lot more. Makes a stop, but not before a 1st down pickup.
57 seconds. You know, the goal is offensively, still want to save 1 timeout in your back pocket for the kicker. We expect if you get a decent chunk here to call your first timeout.
I don't think they want to leave it up to the kicker with some of the issues that they've had this season. Hoover, he's calling for it. Sideline, feed the man. Jordan Dwyer said, I got you, bro. 41 yards.
Well, they may not need the kicker. That's just one-on-one. Beats up the corner, gets on top. You throw that even further down the field, it's a touchdown, but still a nice play.
Payne trying to cash in. Will not stood up.
Take your first timeout.
So timeout here with 29 seconds left. Jordan Dwyer, what a story. He was playing at FCS
TCU.
Idaho.
Their first of the half, 30 seconds in length.
Didn't do much his first year, but last year goes off. 78 catches, 1,192 yards. Named 2nd team Big Sky, which is an awesome FCS conference, by the way. Gets a shot here at TCU. He's fit in nicely with this receiving core.
Boy, just, you know, incredible chemistry with Hoover this season, especially early on, and has been the same since early on in the season. They want to get him back going because of his playmaking ability. And we talk about Baylor and all their skill guys all the time, but man, you look at this offense, McAllister, Dwyer, the tight end, a lot of weapons for Hoover to play with.
Sis.
You talk about that chemistry with Hoover and Dwyer, and he is a powerful route runner. He gets defenders off their spots, creates those windows that way. He's been quiet the last couple of weeks, but Hoover said he's so confident in him, and he knows what he's capable of.
Communication issues there with Lawrence Sisler. We'll set the scene here. 2nd and goal, 29 seconds left, 2 timeouts for TCU. Last time down, it was a run for a touchdown with Barnes. First time down, DJ Rogers with a touchdown. Payne in motion. Hoover will run. There was some daylight there, but it condensed quickly. Caleb Burns with his 2nd straight stop.
Well, they thought they were going to get a light box, but they're actually bringing what we call a Saul blitz. Blitzers from the outside, so everyone in the inside can essentially pinch in from the defensive tackle, defensive end, and those holes close pretty quickly.
TCU, their 2nd of the half, 30 seconds in length.
And now we do have that.
15
now
seconds,
only
please.
one timeout to go. Third and goal, so you can still throw this somewhere inbounds, obviously, and not in the end zone, and still call a timeout and have 1 play to go here with 15 seconds to go in the 2nd half.
What do you think, this part of the field, Eric McAllister, the fade game, trying to do something back shoulder with him.
Well, I like him. I also like DJ Rogers. I think DJ's playing at a very high level this first half, and obviously has the one touchdown to get things going earlier for this offense. So I think at the moment, Eric, yeah, 6'3", #1, but also if you get DJ Rogers somewhere in the slot matched up, I really like the way he's been playing.
TCU looking for the 2-for-1. They will get the football to start off the second half. Barnes checks back in. Hoover is 4 for 5, 63 yards on this drive. Started with just less than 2 minutes. And now Baylor is going to want to talk this out.
And this is the chess game right now.
Timeout. Baylor. The first of the half. 30 seconds in length.
Baylor calling a timeout, expecting TCU to bring out their best play in that situation. Now TCU's got to go back to the drawing board, figure out, do we want to stay with what we got, or we do something different?
Well, this week we have a Monday Night Football doubleheader. At 7 Eastern on ESPN and ABC, it's the Bucs-Lions. Then at 10 Eastern on ESPN, Texans-Seahawks. Both games also available on ESPN Deportes and the all-new ESPN app. TCU looking so much better after a game that Sonny Dykes described as a disaster. Too many drops, 3 turnovers, 2 of them returned, 4 touchdowns. Got them a little while to get going, but now trying to cash in here and extend what is a 4-point lead before the break.
Well, no DJ Rogers in this one, so all eyes gonna be on the outsides, 1 and 7. See if you get a matchup with either of those guys.
Thornton is on McAllister, right side of the formation, bottom of the screen. Going to the other side, Dwyer got in! Slipping past Devin Bobby. Jordan Dwyer does the thing.
We told you to start the matchup. The quick hands of Josh Hoover. They're bringing what we call a corner cat blitz off the edge. Watch this. Bam, ball's out of his hands. Puts it pinpoint accuracy before that safety can come over to replace the blitzing corner. Quick hands, beautiful accuracy, and another touchdown for the Horned Frogs.
That was the Hoover and Dwyer touchdown drive. Dwyer found himself in one-on-one coverage, signaled to his quarterback, get me the football. Hoover did, and it set up that touchdown grab.
Let's go back and get a couple more views at this touchdown and show you that corner cat blitzing into the boundary. He's coming off the edge, and that safety's got to feel that responsibility. But Hoover, with the quick hands, dealing those cards a little bit too fast for the defense to get over there, and then puts it in a spot where his guy can catch it and spin his way on into the end zone. Bam! Quick release, pinpoint accuracy, tutty juice.
Loves playing Baylor. In his third matchup against the Bears, he now has 6 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Also not too shabby this season right here at Amon G. Carter Stadium. 15 touchdowns, 1 interception. So this is the perfect scenario for Josh Hoover. They call it the Revivalry. Longest played, most frequent rivalry matchup in the state of Texas between 2 Christian universities. TCU has won 8 of the last 10. Baylor got them last year. Cole Wilson scooting through traffic. And there is the stop made by Javon McIver. Well, tomorrow on ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern, Sunday NFL Countdown goes all access before the Vikings-Eagles game at Justin Jefferson's Flight School. Plus, live from Big D, a look at the NFC East showdown between Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott, and Randy's best catches of the week, and you got mossed. Michael Trigg has been mossing dudes all season long. Had 2 one-handed catches 2 weeks ago in the last game against Kansas State. 5 targets, no receptions. This will be on the ground, taking us to the half. Caden Knighton with the final carry. Baylor struck first. Touchdown on their 3rd drive, but it's been all TCU from there with the fumble from Bryson Washington. proving not a backbreaker, but a real difference maker in this first half.
Yeah, this TCU defense has been absolutely tenacious. 3 of those points given up after a penalty, a silly penalty, which could have got them off the field too. So they've gotten the job done all first half.
Let's check in with Lauren.
Coach, you're down 11, sloppy conditions out here. What were your biggest takeaways in the first half?
We have to get aligned better to a certain personnel group they have defensively, and we're going to have to execute. We have a chance to get off the field on 3rd down, and we kind of self-destruct. I think offensively we've got to take care of the football and get the running game going. We have not been in rhythm really since the early part of the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Lauren, thank you. TCU will start with the football in the second half, up 21-10. Here's Kevin Connors and Trevor Maddich in studio. Welcome to ESPN College Football presented by Tums here in Fort Worth, Amon G. Carter Stadium. Baylor needs another comeback. They did it down 31-17 in their last game against Kansas State. Can they do it down 21-10 here against TCU? Lowell Galindo, Aaron Murray, Lauren Sisler joins us from the sideline in just a bit. Really, this game comes down to this. Sawyer Robertson has gone cold. Bryson Washington has a fumble. And Michael Trigg, no catches in the first half. Combine that with TCU finding a run game, all Horned Frogs.
Yeah, it's an all Horned Frogs. They've taken advantage and run the football well with some of the weather issues. That, Hoover's done a tremendous job as well. But let's go to some of the big highlights there in the first half. You talk about this fumble was critical, 7-7. TCU gets the ball back in their territory. 2 plays later, the big running back Barnes gets in there with the help of his offensive line to take the lead. And then the explosive play that we know this offense can produce as well. Dwyer, nice catch. And then let's go back to number 7 for the touchdown. All Horned Frogs there for the majority of the first half. Let's see if they can continue that momentum as we look at the stats. The 3rd downs, Baylor's so good in that area, and TCU was struggling defensively in that area. Not there in the first half, though.
And those first half stats brought to you by Tums. A 21-point second quarter for TCU, tied for its most in any quarter in the last 2 seasons. 2 teams led by quarterbacks that are 1 and 2 nationally in passing yards and passing touchdowns that are electric late in games. Here's Hayes, the freshman, looking for the sideline and finds the 25-yard line. So it was Hoover finding Dwyer last time the Frogs had the football, and they will start off with the rock here in the second half.
Yeah, he's played exceptional in this football game, and he always does. He is just so comfortable at home. 13 touchdowns, 1 pick heading into the game when he plays in this stadium, and you saw that comfort level throughout the first half, but a lot has to do with what you brought up, their ability to run the football, taking some pressure off the quarterback.
Kevorian Barnes, 14 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown. And it's to Dwyer, who is hit immediately by Caldre Williford. Told you off the top, but bears repeating, no pun intended. Sorry about that, that was awful. Tevin Williams, starting quarterback for the Baylor Bears, out with an injury in this game.
And they're picking on the backup corner on the backside.
And here's Barnes, 15th carry. Aggressive, looking for a fight with every yard that comes his way. Jackie Marshall with the stop.
He just runs with so much anger. He gets the football and he just wants to run someone over. Great vision, and you know what? Let me just put it down, run through 2 tackles. It's the defense giving up 11.5 tackles missed per game.
No reason Barnes cannot end the season as one of the best backs in the Big 12. Hoover, sideline, Dwyer again. That is a combo that is cooking.
And just picking on the backside corner, young corner, thinking he has some help from the safety. And the safety just does not get over fast enough, and Hoover puts it on a rope.
Second catch of 41 yards in the last 2 drives. Barnes picks up 2 on first down.
And that's just going into the week knowing that, hey, top corner may be out. Let's just see who's playing backside. And Baylor bench right now, Wilford off onto the bench. Coming in is number 2, Reggie Bush, to see if he can help out on the backside for this defense.
Dwyer now over 100 yards, 6 catches for 108. Hoover dealing. McAllister going backwards. Point north. Sift through. Keep going. And finally brought down at the 6-yard line. I thought he was going to start running the wrong way.
Nice hands, nice slant route, and then just using his side to stay up. Nope, not that way. Let me go there. It looks like you're just like playing backyard football. And Baylor's got a man down after that one. Here's number 0, Jackie Marshall.
Yeah, arguably their most valuable defensive player is down. So that is Jackie Marshall being checked out. Let's check in with Lauren Sisler.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Sonny Dykes coming out of the locker room, and he said he really likes where this football team is at. That momentum that carried them into the half was great. He said it's just the silly mistakes, the penalties he wants to clean up. But he said that the weather, not a big factor for them. They kept the ball dry, the field is dry, so that's been big for them. He said, we got to come out here, play physical football. That's how we're going to get the job done.
Set the expectations so high, reaching the national championship game in year number 1. But it got a lot of the big boosters to open up the piggy bank, and we'll have more on that and some of the goodies it's led to that Sis and Aaron got to experience a day ago.
I feel like a new man today because of these facilities and what they have to offer. It is a beautiful place here. I love this stadium.
Yeah. Done a fantastic job here at Amon G. Carter Stadium. So we've got Chase Curtis, a tight end, in the backfield with Barnes. Curtis will take the snap. Barnes, the lead blocker. Curtis going up and over inside the 5-yard line. Zero regard for his well-being, and you gotta love it.
You know what I love too is now you have an offense that has belief that they can run the football. You know, like you're playing essentially playing with one arm behind your back without that game, especially inside the red zone, inside the 5 where windows and everything's so condensed. To be able to just say, let's just line up and run the football is a breath of fresh air for this coaching staff, and let's see if they commit to it right now.
And it's going to be a 2 running back set with Barnes in there with Jeremy Payne. The fake toss, ripping back the middle, soft hands, and caught. Taz Williams with the touchdown. Excuse me, it's Pimpton with the touchdown. Where'd you come from, young man?
Everyone's thinking run, and you get like double run action. You got fake to Barnes, and you got fake pitch, and then all of a sudden 88 comes screaming to the back of the end zone. With some more views of a well-designed play to get this second half going for TCU.
So a man that has not had a lot of PT, Kaz Pimpton, not even on the 2 deep, comes up, finding the end zone to make it 28-10. TCU trying to run away.
This offense is feeling great right now. Everything's working. Run game, pass game, and Hoover continues the ball against the Baylors.
Yeah, maybe get that guy the football a little bit more.
All right, let's figure out how Kamari Pimpton got so wide open in the back of the end zone. When you can run the football, look at all these linebackers, second-level defenders, suck up with all the action in their face. They come up, and then the big 6'6" tight end back in the end zone, pitch and catch. TCU feeling froggy.
His first career catch at TCU, his first career touchdown, and his first season here in Fort Worth after transferring from LSU. That's kind of unfair when you just roll out a 6'6", 250 beast like that honestly is not on any scouting report for the Baylor defense.
We've been trying to get where he's from, what's he like to eat, all of that information during the break. And
who are you?
Who are you? Did they just get you at halftime from somewhere in the portal?
Oh, man. 28-10. Baylor with the back against the wall. trying to go to 3-1 in Big 12 play. They need this one. And that is a quick decision and complete to Josh Cameron. How does Robertson get going?
I think he just needs some completions like that. I think he just got in a bad rhythm between the rain and some drops there in the first half.
Bryson Washington had the critical fumble in the first half, which led to the TCU touchdown. He ditched his gloves earlier in the game after a drop pass. Now we got all sorts of equipment being thrown to the sideline.
Yes, they need to take some shots at some point. It's just been tough sledding to try and methodically move the ball down the field against this defense.
They got to get Michael Trigg a catch. Number 1 in white, looking that way, and it's just off. That's the 6th target to Michael Trigg. No catches, Aaron.
No catches, and just balls are dying. I'm not seeing a lot of juice right now from Sawyer Robinson. And it's not like he was walking into this game with a Josh Allen-esque arm, but something just seems off with number 13, where there's not a lot of confidence in what he's seeing and what he's being presented from this TCU defense.
Meanwhile, Trigg is coming off the best game of his career. 8 catches, 155 yards against Kansas State before the bye. That's a low throw behind, not allowing Kobe Prentice to run after the catch. And here's 3rd down.
They've got to stay on the field right now. This is a critical 3rd down. You're falling behind 18 points. Defense is struggling. Defense has been on the field a lot today as well. Number 11, watch out for him, top of the screen for TCU. Devin Deal. It's been a record in these situations.
Keeping it on the ground, and it will work. So powering through is Michael Turner for the 1st down.
I like that right there. Going a little bit off script, run the football, 3rd and medium situation. Able to get the 1st down, stay on the field, see if you can start to wear down the defense a little bit.
Dave Aranda and Baylor looking for a faster start. Didn't get that in the first 2 drives, but they did score first to make it 7-0. Robertson, and that is complete to Josh Cameron, leads the team in catches and yards, top 4 in the Big 12 in both.
And listen, there's no doubt this team has played behind a lot, not a lot, but a couple games this season, so there is a confidence they can figure it out.
Back to the freshman. To the 40-yard line goes Michael Turner.
At some point, though, I'd like to see a shot down the field. You've got playmakers, you have speed on the outside. With guys like Kobe Prentice and Cole Wilson and Hawkins. Got to take a chance at some point.
The only other point for Baylor after that opening touchdown was set up because of a taunting call by Jamel Johnson. And it looked like it was going to go back to TCU. Robertson, there's the shot. He's open and just airmails it. Kobe Prentice, that's a touchdown.
It is the perfectly drawn play against a quarters defense. You're going to get an out route by the number 2 receiver, and the number 1 receiver to the outside has a post route and just airmails it over his head for a chance for a touchdown.
Robertson, 12 of 28 for the game. Not clicking, so going back to the ground. And this freshman is fighting hard, takes it to the 35-yard line. Caleb Elarms Orr makes the stop. He leads the team in tackles, sacks, and TFL.
And that was the play right there to get going offensively, to hit the big play, to get Sawyer Robinson feeling good. But as we know right now, 2-down territory here on 3rd and medium. They ran the ball last time they were in this situation a few plays ago. Do they run it again right now?
Cole Wilson tries to turn the corner, and the initial spot is going to be good for the 1st down.
That's all on the outside. Josh Cameron, we talked about it in the first half. Just what a tough-nosed player he is on the outside. You're going to see him coming to your screen. Look at him locking up the DBs. 2 good blocks from the receivers to get the 1st down.
Baylor trying to get in the red zone for only the 2nd time today. More pressure in the face. Austin Jordan nearly got him. Trigg finally happens First catch, still going to the 20-yard line. And the most dynamic tight end in the nation finally is on the board.
That's just crazy. And it's not like he has not been targeted in the first half, just have been unable to get him a completion. And finally does, and good things happen.
Target number 7, first catch for the man that leads all tight ends in yards and is second in catches and touchdowns. Oh, driving him backwards is Jamel Johnson. Wanted all that smoke along with Elarm's Orr.
I love number 2, Jamel Johnson. And then, I mean, what he can do in the run game coming from that third level safety, he does it in a hurry too. Number 2 just pops up on your screen and just ready to tackle along with Elarm's Orr.
Robertson floats it to the end zone and in. Jaden Porter coming up with the first touchdown of his career. Well timed, and Baylor ain't done yet.
They needed that drive. Look at that, 75 yards and I love it, that's 5 minutes. You gave your defense a time to breathe as well. They're gonna go for 2 points here. And he just wins off the line of scrimmage, bam! I win, and he stacks him so nicely too. Ball could have been put out in front, would have made it a little bit easier, but nice adjustment from Porter to get the touchdown.
Trying to make this a 10-point game. Bryson Washington checks back in. Klopfenstein and Trigg, 2 tight ends on the right side. They now motion in with Cameron. All sorts of time. A hold potentially. Cameron back in the end zone. Toe tap. 2-point conversion is good, pending the flag on the field, which is in the area of an offensive hold.
Decline. The try is good.
Defensive holding on Bud Clark, Mr. Steady in the TCU secondary. We have got a 10-point game.
Able to find just enough time to locate Steady Eddie, Josh Cameron in the back of the end zone. And all of a sudden, we got a ball game right now, 28-18.
I just reviewed the Josh Cameron 2-point conversion, and the call was upheld, so that means it is a 10-point game, 28-18, in a matchup that we came in billing the names Hoover, Robertson, Washington, Trigg, McAllister. Yet that man, Camarion Pimpton, and Jaden Porter for Baylor have scored their first touchdowns of their careers in the last 2 drives for both TCU and Baylor. So expect the unexpected here in Fort Worth. Let's check in with Kevin Connors. Well, Kevin, the former Bayou Bengal, Pimpton, is back on the field. And, I mean, if you make a catch like that for a touchdown, let the LSU transfer eat. He's now at the right side of the line, blocking for Hoover. Dwyer makes the catch and is flung out of bounds by Caden Jenkins.
Well, a new quarterback now. They've been trying to just find who's going to be on the opposite side there, the quarterback position. They're rotating through Jenkins, Will Ford, Reggie Bush. Obviously, Thorne's playing as well, trying to figure out a way to slow down this passing attack.
And oh, by the way, there's a new leader in the FBS in passing touchdowns, as that is a TFL. Barnes going backwards as Cooper Lands makes a stop. Also had the blocked field goal in the last game against Kansas State to preserve that win. Josh Hoover now 21 touchdowns to pass Robertson.
Woo! We talked about 1 versus 2 in this game.
Yeah.
Hoover taking the lead, but finally this defense showing some signs of life. Now can they just get off the field and keep the momentum on Baylor's side?
Hoover was looking for his 11th straight completion, no flag, targeting Eric McAllister. Reggie Bush the second, no relation to the USC grade in coverage.
And they're dropping 8 in coverage, not a lot of windows. Dig route has an opportunity, puts it in a spot for McAllister to make the catch. Would have loved to see number 1 reel that one in there, but still for Baylor to come out, give up a touchdown on the first drive, go down there with that 5-minute possession to score, and now get the ball back pretty quickly. See if they can cut this thing down to 1 score.
First 3 and out for the Frogs. Crawl with the punt. Cameron backing up inside the 30. Cameron with the dance moves. Cameron with the whole dance floor by himself. The punter got the stiff arm. Cameron, the sideline, and forced out inside the 10. There is a flag down the other side of the field at the 30-yard line.
During the return, blocking the back, receiving team, number 8, 10-yard penalty, first down. Timeout on the field.
That is tough, wiping out a 68-yard return by Josh Cameron.
Set up nicely, long punt. Gives them opportunity to make the return, but bringing it back with a block in the back, unfortunately.
He said it was number 8 on the top left part of the screen. Tries to find some room. That's Michael Turner. The push keeps going. Reminiscent of the scrum that led to the Barnes touchdown for TCU. And Turner gets out of it and signals first down, Baylor.
Well, we saw TCU use the run game to ignite their offense in the first half. Now Baylor, here in the second half, utilizing the run game to get things going for themselves.
Looked like Josh Cameron was favoring his shoulder after that punt return that was called back. Not much going on there. Elarms, Orr, and Chapman with the stop. Dave Aranda believes in this team. Saw him before Oklahoma State, told his team after some struggles, a loss against Arizona State that honestly probably should have won. His message, why not us? Why not 10-2? They have responded well. Before the bye week, down 31-17 in the fourth quarter and came back to beat Kansas State. Still alive in the Big 12 race. And this will help the cause. Ashton Hawkins zigzagging. That gets him to the 47-yard line.
I want to say that's probably the most confident pass I've seen Sawyer Robinson throw in the ball game. Steps into it, throws it on time to one of his main targets, Hawkins, on the outside, but finally seen some confidence from number 13.
Yeah, into the first half, Robertson was ice cold. The rainstorm certainly did not help. That's the freshman, Caden Knighton.
We're seeing these young freshman running backs, Knighton and Turner, really take the bulk of these carries here in the second half. And doing a pretty good job as well.
Cuts it back out. Lowering the shoulder, tunneling to the 40. When Knighton doesn't try to do too much, he's
almost did there for a
fantastic.
second.
Yeah.
He wanted to. He wanted to do a little too much extra. And he said, no, let me just put my foot in the ground, get north, put my shoulder down.
This is rhythm from the Baylor offense.
Here's number 1 in the backfield, Trigg, now moving out to the slot. Trying to find some creative way to get him matched up.
Sideline, Cole Wilson Went up but could not bring it down. Vernon Glover with the defense.
And Glover was there, but still one you'd love to see. Cole Wilson, he got both hands on it. They're just going to end up getting to some sort of 3 verticals down the field. And through Wilson's hands, unfortunately, but nice job by Glover getting physical.
Opponents completing only 35.7% of passes when Vernon Glover is covering the targeted receiver. In other words, don't throw his direction.
Yeah.
Trigg lead blocker this time. The freshman almost slips through and found the end zone to the 30. Elarms Obi Izor with the stop.
Oh, now we're seeing TCU playing a little bit give in the back end. Safety's about 10, 12 yards away. Now for some massive run lanes. They're coming up, single high coverage, looks more like man-to-man. We'll see if they check out of it with the motion to a 2-by-2 formation.
The freshman needs 2, gets 2 and more to the 26-yard line. Michael Turner, the leading rusher, now over 60 yards for the Bears.
Fugar, the left tackle, just takes his defender and brings him down, and these running backs continue to find the hole. Look at 69, grab, get him into the inside, and then it's just a one-on-one with Caleb Alarms and he's able to get the first.
Have not seen Bryson Washington on this drive. As a fumble earlier in the game, and he has been banged up for the past few weeks. Most carries in the Big 12. Klopfenstein, the motion man. Deal forcing his way into Robertson's kitchen, just working this Baylor offensive line.
Just a physical specimen, the Deal brothers. And it's just one-on-one the bottom of the screen. What's up about physicality? Look at the physicality down at the bottom. Try to do a little slant and go sluggo, and he said, not so fast. You ain't getting by me.
Knighton, right side, and picks up a couple of yards, rallying to the football, the purple jerseys, including Max Carroll.
And a little bit of light rain coming down right now, not as heavy as it was in the first half. Don't think that should cause any concern, hopefully, for Sawyer Robinson's ability to throw the football right now. I just love what this offense has done now for 2 straight possessions, holding on to the football.
Spinning off the tackle is Knighton. Cannot get away from Avery Helm. And after converting 3 straight times on 3rd down, TCU gets the stop for now. Keep in mind, Baylor is among the most aggressive on 4th down in the FBS.
I think you got to kick this ball. I mean, they have the ability to let this clock run down and not have to make a decision until the beginning of the 4th quarter. But I am taking this thing, kicking it, and making it a 1-score game early on in the 4th quarter.
5th most 4th down attempts in the FBS, but Dave Aranda wants to take this thing to the 4th quarter, where Baylor has been awesome, especially when facing a double-digit deficit. Baylor goes into the 4th, trying for their 3rd double-digit comeback in the 4th quarter this season. No. 4th down, Baylor, what do you want to do? Sawyer Robertson now heads to the sideline. This is going to be up to the foot of Connor Hawkins. He's already hit 1 today.
Smart decision here. Let's kick the field goal, keep momentum. Baylor did a terrific job there in the 3rd half, swinging it back in their direction. Now let's see if you can make it a 1-score game.
From 41 yards out, he's already hit from 43. Have the game winner against Kansas State from 53. And just chipping away. Baylor does make it a 7-point game.
I like the decision. I think it's a great decision. I know their MO is to be aggressive, go for it on 4th downs. I think if you're able to get the run play to a more manageable situation, then yes, but like that.
And before that field goal attempt, Lauren Sisler caught up with Sonny Dykes.
Coach, a swing of momentum. How do you put this one away for you guys here in the fourth quarter?
Well, we got to try to get a stop here. It's going to be a big. This is going to be a big one here. I'm not the field goal if they're going to go for it. And then we just got to get back into a rhythm offensively. We got a little out of sync a little bit the last possession. We just got to do a better job of stringing together some plays. Got to continue to run the football.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
And he knows Baylor has been magical in the fourth quarter. Did it against his former program, the SMU Mustangs, earlier this season, erasing a double-digit deficit to win in overtime. And did it 2 weeks ago before the bye, coming from 31-17 down in the fourth quarter to beat the Kansas State Wildcats. Can Sonny Dykes prevent that from happening against this Baylor squad here in Fort Worth? Let's check in with Kevin Connors in studio. And that 3-1 mark in Big 12 play, that's what Baylor's trying to get to. TCU trying to get to 2-2 in conference. It's going to be wild. Eric McAllister met by Keaton Thomas, a one-man tackling machine for the Baylor D.
He is sideline to sideline is Keaton Thomas this season, and just asked to do a ton in this defense and continues to deliver here this afternoon.
Trent Battle is the running back. Battle with the carry. Battle tried to spring it the block on the left side from Quentin Harris.
It's good to see Quentin Harris up and running and doing his thing out there. He made a little costly mistake a week ago, not knowing if it was run or pass, caused that lateral for the opponent to pick it up. Right there, the 6'8", 305, utilizing his speed to get a block down the field.
TCU so sloppy a week ago. Did not look like a Sonny Dykes coach team. This is a different squad. Battle with the crease. Battle is won.
Who said TCU can't run the football? Man, offensive line getting it done. Carson Bruno, number 62, gets on the edge, and then the center, 51, Colin Deary doing the rest. And then the speed, Trent Battle. They've committed to it this afternoon, and they have been handsomely paid for that commitment.
Career-long 65-yard touchdown for the senior out of Alabama. Wow.
Well, you want to get the run game going? Baylor, one of the worst in the Big 12, give up 177 yards per game on the ground. TCU said, we will get our run game going this afternoon. Another big-time touchdown.
This is the Big 12 on ESPN. Students have endured the rain here inside Amon G. Carter Stadium for the 121st edition of the Revivalry. The strife is over, the battle done. Probably a song that many of these fans here have sung in church through the years multiple times, as Trent Battle makes it a 35-21 lead for TCU over Baylor. That brings us to this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Capital One. What we're looking at and tracking here, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, Miami last night with a critical loss to Louisville. Very shocked that Miami was the best team in the country, and still think they're pretty darn good. And then the big one between the hedges, Ole Miss at Georgia, 3:30 on ABC, is going to be a tremendous football game.
Texas Tech, Arizona State, major ramifications in this Big 12 race that is going to be bonkers till the end like it was a season ago. Now, Baylor really stood a better chance as we just received word there's been a lightning strike in the area, meaning that we are going to go into a delay. We're fortunate that we made it this long. It looked like we may have a lightning strike at the end of the first half in the area, which would have delayed things before halftime. And so fans are being asked to seek shelter as this game goes into a delay. Now, the byproduct of that is the weather has been a lot cooler. We're expecting at the beginning of the week for this day to be in the mid-90s here in the Metroplex. But it has been a pleasant day temperature-wise, and we have had multiple rain showers, including a deluge at the midway point in the first half. But the first time that the storm has prompted this, a lightning strike leading to a delay here inside Amon G. Carter Stadium. So it was Baylor that told us they needed to start fast in this game. It was a sluggish start before the bye, and their comeback win against Kansas State. Didn't exactly come roaring out of the gate. First drive was a 3-and-out, but on the third drive, they were able to find the end zone. The Bryson Washington touchdown. Really, after that moment, TCU just decided they were going to pour it on. Went to the break with a 21-10 lead. Michael Trigg was shut out in the first half for Baylor. But things have gotten really interesting here in the second half. Kamarian Pimpton, his first touchdown of his career for TCU to start off the second half. And Jaden Porter with his first for Baylor to respond. That brings us to our player spotlight, brought to you by Tecovas and Josh Hoover. We told you off the top, most games you are a marquee name if you're second nationally in passing yards and passing touchdowns. He was second fiddle because Robertson was ahead. With this performance, he has now jumped Sawyer Robertson for the national lead in touchdown passes.
I mean, heading into this versus Baylor in his career, 372 yards per game, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So he just loves playing the Baylor Bears. Now 7 total touchdowns, 0 picks when he faces the team in green.
All right, let's get into a recap. Show everybody how this has gone down in the rivalry. So Bryson Washington coughs up this football.
Yeah, he fumbled it. It turned into TCU saying, hey, we're going to turn ourselves into a little bit of a run game, but obviously we know they can put it down the field. Dwyer making some big-time plays, the nice touchdown catch, versus the corner blitz, and in the second half coming out hot on the first drive to someone they got in the transfer portal during halftime. Baylor got some life themselves, able to get some points, but then TCU in that running game with battle. Nice 65-yard touchdown to once again extend the lead. 35-21 we're at right now at the beginning of this delay due to weather, but a very entertaining third quarter. Yeah, should be an exciting fourth quarter once we do get things going.
Dave Aranda was right telling us we just had another lightning strike here, so that will reset the clock in the area. Dave Aranda, though, told us this game would come down to who can run the football better. And to this point, with 13:46 left, it has been TCU. 25 carries, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6.4 yards per carry. We're going to take a break and then go to Casey and Trevor standing by in the studio. About an hour since we had the lightning delay. Here we are, 35-21. TCU with the lead. Lauren Sisler is joining us from the field. I'm here with Aaron Murray. So you got about an hour, right? And TCU was starting to roll. They had that long touchdown run by Trent Battle. Does this affect the game and help one team maybe more than the next?
Yeah, I mean, how focused were you during this past hour, making sure you stay loose, mentally engaged, ready to go? So, yeah, it's still a 2-touchdown score lead right now for TCU, but for Baylor, kind of a reset. They played well in the third quarter. let's see if they can make it even closer now with the ball back in their hands.
So in the first half, it was a 7-7 game, and Baylor gives it to the reliable running back Bryson Washington, the fourth leading rusher in the Big 12. But he fumbles the football. TCU takes advantage, and they're able to punch it in.
Yeah, they're able to get the run game going, which has been their big emphasis this week, and been able to execute it as well. Nice seeing them use the offensive line with a good running game, but really, you know, Hoover having a terrific game against Baylor once again. He just, anytime he sees the Baylor Bears on the other side, he's going to go off for crazy numbers. 3 touchdowns on the game. Dwyer with back-to-back big plays, and then this one right here, little trickery, and then a guy that got in the transfer portal during halftime. Pimpton comes in there, makes a nice snag, but Baylor making some plays in the run game and in the pass game in the third quarter, brought this thing close, and then the big run to battle the 65-yarder to turn this game into what it is right now, 35-21 in favor of the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, the running game's been the difference. It was Trent Battle there on the long touchdown run, but Kevorian Barnes really was the bell cow before that. 17 carries, 75 yards. Sonny Dykes liking the spot his team is in now, and it's coming off what was a disastrous performance, in his words, in the loss against Kansas State a week ago. Dave Aranda and his Baylor Bears, they were looking right in the eyes of opportunity. A win here would make them 3-1 in the Big 12, and we saw with Houston getting the win, you got to keep pace with everybody else, chasing the big dogs like Texas Tech, who's got Arizona State coming up, BYU undefeated as well. There's not a lot of room for error in this conference race at this point. Meanwhile, Josh Hoover has taken the national lead for touchdown passes away from his counterpart, Sawyer Robertson. The Baylor quarterback came into this leading the nation in touchdowns, but Hoover has 3 in this game. That now puts him up to 21 on the year.
He has been absolutely terrific throwing the football, and tell you what, Baylor's used to playing from behind and not afraid to go out there and will their way to victory, and it starts right now with putting some points on the board on this possession.
Baylor, the first Big 12 team since 2017 Kansas State, with 2 double-digit fourth-quarter comebacks. They did it to SMU. They did it to Kansas State the last time out. And we've got football. Robertson has been cold, and that is really a microcosm of what we've seen all day. Michael Trigg, 8 targets, 1 catch for him.
Yeah, just has not been able to really get going with his #1 target, trying to feed him the football. A couple drops, but right there, just the lack of confidence stepping into the football, and it's just dying on a 12-yard in route. Ball's falling to the ground too much.
He's under 50%, 16 of 35, 175 yards. Robertson stretching the field, some bumping, some shoving, and a late flag comes in, and this is going to be against the standout safety, Bud Clark. He was running with Kobe Prentice.
That's one thing we did not see a lot of in the first half, was just shots down the field.
Pass interference, defense number 21, 15-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
And Baylor's got speed, man. They got Cole Wilson that can run, Hawkins can run, Kobe Prentice can run. You give those receivers an opportunity to make a play down the field, good things happen just like that, get a little pass interference.
Sun is out now. We had the early rain showers in the first half. Didn't have much rain at all in that 58-minute lightning delay. And a beautiful day now here in Fort Worth. The freshman on the ground has been fantastic so far in the game. That's Michael Turner with the modest pickup. Let's check in with Lauren Sisler.
Yeah, guys, of course, when you have a break like that, it always hurts the rhythm of the game a bit. But talking to Coach Aranda, he said, look, we focused on our nutrition. We drank a lot of Gatorade while we were in the locker room, did a little bit of reflection. But he said, look, we've done this before. We've come back from this far too many times. He said we need stops on defense, and we have to score here.
And there is a stop against Michael Turner. Caleb Elarms Orr, who is now up to, what, is that 16 tackles for Elarms Orr in this game? He is absolutely going off. Also worth pointing out here for this 3rd and 4, we really haven't seen Bryson Washington all that much in the second half. He's been a non-factor since that lost fumble. It's set up a go-ahead touchdown for TCU. Here's the 3rd and 4 for Robertson. Climbing in the pocket, now looks backwards, bottled up, still up, now goes down. Zach Chapman and Devin Deal combined for the sack, and Devin Deal, I know Elarm's Orr is up to 16 tackles. Deal is the defensive MVP.
Well, just look at the back end. This all goes to the second and third levels. No one is open at all, going through all of his reads, and then this defense line's doing the rest to be able to bring the quarterback down in the backfield. It's a defense that has struggled on third downs this season, has done a tremendous job in the ball game today.
17 sack on the season for the TCU defense. The only time the quarterback has been dropped for either team so far today. Jordan Dwyer has been awesome. He's got himself a touchdown catch, and a couple of receptions of 41 yards. He's over 100 yards for the game. And it is time for more Josh Hoover, who has been unreal. His completion percentage now as a starter against Baylor, 76%. And this is third game against the Bears. Against everyone else, 64%.
Ooh, he wants to play Baylor week in and week out, that's for sure. There's a lot of confidence when he's going against this team. Just has a feel for what they're doing defensively and playing with a lot of confidence at the moment.
They call this the rivalry. The most played rivalry in the state of Texas. Well, shake and bake from Kevorian Barnes. Jacob Redding is there to make the stop. They need a Jacob Redding spark like they had in the fourth quarter against Kansas State. He got a pick, returned it 66 yards to give Baylor the lead. This is when they were trailing too, 31-17 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and TCU right now is going to continue to play this ball control. They trust and love what they've seen in their run game so far in the ball game, and right now it's run the football and eat up as much clock as you can.
Barnes, a former Conference USA Freshman of the Year when he started his career at UTSA. That's going to set up a third down.
I've loved what I've seen from two, and obviously if you're TCU, you wish you would have had him early on in the season. 3 straight games of inability to run the football or get over 100 yards rushing ended this afternoon. It has to do with the health of number 2 this game, and obviously going forward to take some pressure off Hoover. But right now, third and short, you have the ability to run and also obviously throw the football as well.
5 for 9 on the money down for TCU. Hoover rolling out, looking for Everhart, wants to fire downfield instead, misses with McAllister. There is a flag down in the backfield.
That's one right there for Hoover. Just run the football. You need 3 yards. Everyone's backing up. Would have loved to see him use his legs to get the first down, but we'll see what the penalty is.
Now to our receiver downfield, number 56. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, I don't know why Hoover just didn't take off and run. Had an opportunity to get the first down. Would have not had the penalty either. We'll take a look at it, but he's rolling out right now. And the first down is right there just past the 25-yard line. He's trying to fit a ball in a tight window and gets the penalty too. Run it, first down, and you're going to milk a lot more time off this clock. And for Baylor, that's exactly what you wanted, a 3 and out.
His offensive coordinator, Kendall Briles, told us the scramble game would be critical for Hoover, as Cameron is backed up to the 15. And this is what TCU does, man. They fly around special teams. And there's another fantastic stop inside the 15-yard line by Caden McFadden. 14-point Frogs lead.
ESPN College Football is presented by Tums Fast Heartburn Relief, so you can love food back.
We're throwing axes. We give little kids axes here on the campus of TCU and have them throw it. That's how you bring in homecoming here at TCU and Fort Worth. Student section has been awesome even through the delay. They love this rivalry matchup. Here's Knighton, gets a block from Michael Trigg. And even though it's been a slow day for Trigg in the receiving department, willing to put his nose in it to set up the freshman running back.
Yeah, I love that from Trigg. Still want to get him involved in the pass game if you want to get into this game. And time is important. We're under 10 minutes to go. Have to start having some sense of urgency offensively to push the ball down the field.
Robertson does push it. Cole Wilson cannot adjust. And Austin Jordan was behind that play, thinking about a pick. Jamel Johnson, who's been fantastic in the run game, was in coverage there.
Jamel Johnson has been a superstar in this ball game, and they had the opportunity over the top, but 2 versus 2, and we've seen him in the run game. Jamel Johnson stick his nose in there, and right there, right stride for stride with the speedy Cole Wilson. Nice coverage.
Quick hitter. That goes backwards after the catch. Johnson is there, along with Vernon Glover. 3rd down. Certainly four down territory. Dave Miranda is faced with that.
Trigg not in the football game right now on a critical 3rd and short.
No Washington either. Kloffenstein will lead, and the freshman goes backwards. Met with authority. It's that dude again. Jamel Johnson, this time with his buddy Nnamdi Obiizor.
That man is just tenacious. Watch him. Just wait. Bam! Coming up with the haymaker tackle at the line of scrimmage is number 2, knocking him backwards.
4th down.
And coverage across the board.
Watch for Devin Dill, top of the line in 11. Robertson, no! Body slammed, and the TCU defense holds on 4th down. Perry Cole Jr. with the stand-up.
That's your best call on 4th and gotta stay alive? Is a quarterback run on 4th and 3? I don't know about that one. Sorry, Robinson is not that type of athlete where I'm putting the ball in his hands to run it in this situation. I need him passing. Our strength of our team are our receivers and our tight end, and that's what you're gonna do. And that, I just don't like it at all.
And look at Lindgren and Deal eating up those blocks. Oof. To take away any shot that Sawyer Robertson had. A great field position now for Josh Hoover to go to work. And it's not just finding the end zone. Take all this time off as much as you can. Jeremy Payne, the running back. Hoover to Major Everhart. Catch number 3. Everhart so quick down to the 20-yard line.
Well, I think they understand too, hey, listen, a field goal turns into a 3-score game. Take another look as Everhart using a little quickness. Look at a defender falls to the ground. Yeah, it is no rush right now. Protect the football. You talked about last possession for Baylor. They need some kind of crazy momentum shift, and that would be a turnover. So 2 hands on the football for anyone who touches it for TCU.
Turnover-free football for TCU. They have 6 turnovers in their 2 losses. And trying to tunnel underneath the tackle attempt from Kendrick Simpkins is Jeremy Payne. This is when TCU has had most of their turnover issues in the red zone. 3 red zone turnovers this season. Only 4 teams in the FBS with more. However, they are now cooking in the red zone. 4 for 4 with touchdowns today. That makes them 10 for 12 over their past 3 games inside the 20. So season numbers not good, but coming on at the right time. This is Payne looking left side, and he's brought down by Lands, who was looking for the strip. And we have another lightning strike. That's what the immediate stop of action was from the official in the end zone. And here's the announcement.
Due to the weather and lightning, we must clear the field once again.
Well, they did their best. We got down to the 6:42 mark, but cannot control Mother Nature. And so this will trigger at least another 30-minute delay. And the players will have to return for another warm-up before resuming and trying to wrap up this final 6:42. TCU fans have done a great job braving the initial weather storm and still being on hand, being loud. We'll see how many come back after the second weather delay. So 6:42 left, 121st meeting. And the rivalry we call the Revivalry. TCU trying to win its 9th in the last 11 games and avenge last season's loss against Baylor. More importantly, a win for TCU still gives them hope in the Big 12 race. It would move them to 2-2 in conference play. And by the way, they are looking, Aaron, this is a team that's going to put some scare into the rest of the Big 12.
Oh my gosh, if they can run the football and create balance like we're seeing so far here this afternoon, this is a team that's been playing good defense, minus one, a couple games. But they got the talent and they got a quarterback that can lead them to a lot more victories this second half of the season.
We're going to take a break, and then on the other side, Battle of the Bones. Memphis and UAB coming your way. Done with our third weather delay here in the fourth quarter. Sawyer Robertson on the left for Baylor entered this game leading the FBS in passing touchdowns. Josh Hoover on the right now owns the national lead in passing touchdowns. He is trying to put this one on ice for the Horned Frogs. They got a third down coming up. Hoover, to get to this point, what can you say about the performance?
He has been terrific dealing this football throughout the ball game. Just efficient, he's accurate, the timing, the quickness in which he gets rid of it has been, we knew it was going to be great. It's nice to see it in person. And then the running game has really allowed him to get some advantageous one-on-ones down the field to allow these playmakers to go out there and make plays. But number 10 has been special. You see the numbers, 22 of 31, 231, and 3 tutties. 10 is dealing.
Rogers and Pimpton, two tight ends with touchdowns. Dwyer with the other. And it's been a turnover-free football game for the TCU Horned Frogs. They have 6 turnovers in their 2 losses this season. Kansas State last week and Arizona State 2 games before that. So a 3rd and 3 with 6:44 left, both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. It's a game that started at 11:02 a.m. Central Time. We are now at 4:16.
Started yesterday.
And it was a lot of rain in the second quarter before the weather delay, and the rain had nothing to do with it. It's just been lightning strikes, and this last one was a random one with no real storm cell in the area. 3rd and 3 for TCU. 5 for 10 on 3rd down so far today. BYU has to force, excuse me, they're not playing. Baylor has to force a stop here to have his shot. These teams chasing BYU in the Big 12 standings. Barnes with the carry. Barnes, the seam parts. He's got himself a tutty. Number 2 for Coivorian. Barnes put it on ice.
That was definitely not BYU's defense trying to stop. And TCU continues to dominate this afternoon on the run. I love the direct snap. Look at the big uglies up front, paving the way. They wanted to establish a run game. They have done so all afternoon.
Coivorian Barnes is 3 yards away from 100. He hit the century mark in the season opener against UNC, but has been slowed. Injuries have been a big part of that. Missed 2 of the previous 3 games with injuries, and that's why, leading up to this game, TCU had been under 100 yards rushing in 3 straight games. Let me say that again. Under 100 yards rushing in 3 straight for the first time in 20-plus years. They're at 189 right now.
What I think a big issue was they were just unable to even get things going. 29% of their carries were stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage. And Barnes, with his size, 5'9", 220, let's go back to just how his day has been. Utilizing the size, the vision, the offensive line I thought has been terrific too, opening up some holes. But he runs with some anger, tremendous balance, and a want, like right there, to get into the end zone anytime he sniffs it. He has been a lot of fun to watch when healthy this year. And it feels like if you can get this out of number 2, you got a dangerous offense this season.
And don't let the numbers deceive you, because when you just look at his numbers for the season before watching film, it would make you believe that there's really not too much there. Barnes can be a special running back in this conference, but you have to watch him to appreciate what he's able to do. And a perfect complement to the rest of the weapons in this TCU offense. Baylor will start here now at the 25-yard line. And Sawyer Robertson, it just has not been his day. He's been so good on the road, so good all season long, but 17 of 37 for 181 and a touchdown. Baylor does have one turnover that came in the form of a Bryson Washington fumble. I'd be shocked if we see Washington the rest of the way.
Yeah, I would too. They've been leaning on the freshman, and for Sawyer Robinson, it's just been a struggle past 2 years versus this TCU defense. Last year, it's been 10 games since he only had one touchdown, and that was against TCU a year ago. He's had double-digit touchdowns since.
Now we'll take a shot one-on-one, and it's picked off! Oh my, Jamel Johnson! This is your day!
Well, the struggles continue for Sawyer Robinson, and you said Jamel Johnson has been a superstar the entire ball game, in the run game especially. But now we've seen him stride for stride with the speed of these receivers. Does a great job seeing the post route, running with it, then getting his head around to snag the INT. Number 2 has been the MVP all afternoon on that side.
Sprinkle in some Caleb Elarms-Orr, who has 16 tackles, and that's pretty much all you need for this TCU defense.
Well, Beal's been dealing too at the defensive line position. Number 11 had himself a ball game as well. So they've got guys at all 3 levels making plays against one of the best offenses in the Big 12.
And Jamel Johnson is now your leader with 4 interceptions in the Big 12. And it will be up to the ground game to just close this one out. No reason to put this in harm's way as Kevorian Barnes gets the carry. TCU with its first game with 2 players with at least 70 rushing yards since 2022. And the 2 players getting it done there. Barnes, who's been more of the steady presence, and Trent Battle, who really had the backbreaker delivered to Baylor with that 65-yard touchdown run right before we went to our weather delay. The first one. Barnes probing left side, and the Baylor defense still fighting hard. That's Redding.
Well, that's the one thing, too, when you talk to the defensive staff. Matt Powell, defensive coordinator for Baylor, he said, listen, we're a bunch of fighters. There is no quit in this football team, no matter what the score is, no matter what the situation. And there's definitely pride in understanding that obviously things did not go the way that we wanted to on either side of the football today, but does not mean that we're going to just roll over these last 5 minutes of this ball game.
This was the week last season that Baylor got it rolling. It was the beginning of what was a 6-game winning streak to wrap up the regular season, and led to massive expectations coming into this year as Lance makes a tackle. They battled against a solid Auburn squad in the season opener, had a chance. Well, it fell shy of those late game heroics with an incompletion in the end zone to Michael Trigg. And it's going to be a 4-3 start to the season for Baylor and Dave Aranda. Speaking of Trigg, I mean, it's tough when he's coming off the best game of his career, more than 150 yards, and the comeback win against K-State, and to have a single catch in this game.
Yeah, it was just a weird game offensively for Sawyer Robinson, as we laid out, but also for Michael Trigg. Some drops early on. Obviously, weather played a part in some of the sloppiness in the pass game in the first quarter. But give credit to TCU. I mean, that was the plan, is like, hey, make someone else beat us besides the talented #1 Michael Trigg. And Baylor just did not have answers offensively to really get things going.
Ethan Crawl with the punt. Josh Cameron will corral it at the 25 and is hit out of bounds. A Baylor coach goes down. It looked like, was that the OC? Was that Jake Spavital? I think went down for Baylor. So add that to a rough day for him.
So you look at it, see when the hit was, maybe it.
Oh, and it got Spavital as well. That was him on the right side of the screen. And camera hit low and a little late. And it was, looked like the long snapper, Cal Keeler, that got him. So it's go time now for Baylor, now or never. 4:14 remaining. Caden Knighton is the tailback. And that is complete to Ashton Hawkins.
You still like to get some sort of feel good for this offense. See if you can move the ball down the field, score a touchdown, walk out of here with your held up high.
Trigg somehow got it. Oh! Bad intentions as he got the forearm shiver for a second catch, and he's down to the 20. That's what he can be. That's what we were expecting.
Yeah, a little too late, unfortunately. But, man, the big hands. And then look at this. Just run him over. Bam!
Oh, no. Robertson, pressure inside, and he's dropped. Bud Clark gets the sack. His first sack of the season. Usually the takeaway artist.
They're going to have both linebackers. We call this the pipe blitz. You have both linebackers in that double-A pressure. Then all of a sudden, the safety comes right through both of them. No one left, and you get a sack right after the big pass play.
One of the fastest safeties in all of college football. You take his top 5 max speeds, and you average those from this season, and it comes out to 20.4 miles per hour. 4th fastest for a safety in the FBS.
Yeah, and he knows that, hey, when we call this blitz and these linebackers gobble up the center and the running back, there's no one ready for me. And if the quarterback holds the ball at all, there's a good chance with my speed I'm going to get back there in the backfield to get a 9-yard loss.
This is looking more along the lines of what we've grown accustomed to seeing from a TCU defense. And there's Bryson Washington, just 1 touch in the second half. Carry for 2 yards. Had that pivotal fumble in which he ditched his gloves after that. Led to the go-ahead touchdown for TCU to make it 14-7. Also had a drop pass early in the game. Pressure off the edge, throwing it up, picked off. High point it, bring it down. Vernon Glover, oh, can he get up to top speed quick to the 25? And man, Michael Trigg at the 15 is showing outward signs of frustration. He is hot right now on the Baylor sideline. Has to control himself here on what is a very emotional and difficult day for this Baylor offense.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the best offenses in the country, and an offense that's used to just moving up and down the field, and just a bad decision. I mean, if you're gonna throw that ball and give your guy a 50-50 chance, you gotta throw that in the end zone, not that far behind where 26 can essentially stop, turn around, and catch it like he's catching a punt.
Glover had one of those last season in his freshman campaign, and that is his first of the year. He gets the turnover chain. He's getting plenty of love on the sideline. Saw him with the PBU earlier in the game. It's been tough to throw against him. We mentioned opponents completing 36% of the passes when they target him. I don't know if they've gotten anything on Glover except the PBU and an INT. And so now The ball is out, and Keaton Thomas takes it the other way. Baylor with the touchdown. Where'd that come from? So Hoover with the carry, coughed it up. First turnover for TCU, and Keaton Thomas returns it.
Zone read, gonna read it, pull it, and yeah, that looks like a clear fumble.
Devontae Tesno forced it out. My question is,
why is Hoover in the game?
What? Yes, and if he stays, then why are you running with them?
Yeah, I don't know that either. You're up 3 scores, 3 minutes to go. You've seen Hoover have a tremendous game. There's no reason why he needs to be out there. He should have had the backups in, just hand the football and call it an afternoon. I don't want to put my star quarterback in any sort of situation where he's going to get hit up 21 points with 3 minutes to go in the game.
Here's Tesno. Yeah, that's clearly out. They love Devontae Tesno in this defense. Far better than the stats would also indicate with him, and Keaton Thomas making that look easy. And just the second takeaway for the Baylor defense in the last 4 games.
The previous play is under further review. We're looking to see if the fumble is fumbled or not.
The fumble is fumbled or not. Let's do it.
Yeah, I thought we had some good enough views from our shots that were presented to us where this was clearly a fumble, but we'll double and triple check to make sure.
Well, I got a treat for you. We're going to take a look inside the Big 12 Operations Center just down the road in Irving, Texas. On the left is the output of what they're looking at on their replay screen, and the shot on the right is showing everybody huddling together, looking at the different angles, which will be relayed here to the crew in Fort Worth, where they will ultimately make their decision to uphold or overturn, and this was lightning quick.
After further review, the win on the field is upheld. It is a fumble and a touchdown.
First scoop and score for Baylor since 2023. And so now, Baylor's going to look for the 2-point conversion here. So trying to make this a 13-point game with 3:08 left. Robertson will keep, gets rocked but falls into the end zone, and once again setting up your quarterback late in the game to take a shot because it was a free one from Devin Deal. So 13-point game, 3:08 left, 1 timeout left for Baylor.
You're just going to get a good look to run the football for the quarterback draw, just an RPO, run pass option. If you like it on the outside, you'll throw a quick game. If not, you're going to run up the middle to get it, and then you have to believe it's onside kick time.
Has to.
For Baylor. So, I mean, their mentality is, hey, listen, we get an onside kick, score again, and get another opportunity to kick another onside kick. So you have a timeout in your pocket, still the 2-minute timeout coming as well. So not out, completely out of it. And for TCU, kind of still have a head scratcher of why you called what you called the last possession, where you could have just handed the ball off and brought this thing to under the 2-minute timeout.
To 2 running backs that have been rolling in this game.
But
and if that's a read play too, I imagine maybe you're just not expecting Hoover to keep. But if that is
there's an option that my quarterback has a chance to keep the football,
take it away from him.
You take it away from him, and he shouldn't be in the game in the first place.
And TCU is fortunate in that situation. The worst that came out of it was a fumble and not something more serious to Hoover. Hayden Arnold will kick the onside, and Baylor almost jumped that one, but Chase Curtis is able to recover. So it's going to be TCU football, 3:06 left. Baylor does have 1 timeout. They do have the 2-minute timeout coming up as well. So 2 stoppages.
What a catch. This, Whew, that was close to being a little bit of an awkward. It was awkward, and an opportunity for Baylor to maybe field this football. Love the concentration right there from Curtis.
Hoover kept on the last TCU snap, fumbled it. And more to the conventional approach. Barnes met, and there is a flag down in the TCU backfield.
During the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 51. 15-yard penalty, replay first down.
It's going to go against Colton Deary. Now, Deary, the center, and Bennett, the left guard, both were listed as questionable leading up to this game, so weren't even sure if we were going to see them. And right there.
Yeah, I think the initial throwdown was
will
fine,
start on
but
the snap
then
by the option
player
of
on the
Baylor.
ground, and then you go after him after the play was a little bit too much.
So now make it 1st and 25. As both teams have been sloppy coming out of a third weather delay, which honestly you would expect as Burns makes a stop.
Yeah, I think mentally too. I mean, it's not easy to try to
Baylor.
get up and play a competitive football game, then stop again, then get up again, then stop again, then get up again, then stop again. It's a lot.
All right, Aaron, break this down for me, because you and Lauren Sisler had the opportunity to go into the TCU Restoration Center. What are we seeing here?
A snow room, legit snow.
That's a legit tat as well, man.
Yeah, snowballs for the camera crew. Little sauna action, so you're doing a little hot cold therapy, a little contrast, and then we jumped into the freezing cold plunge, which was miserable. And Lauren finished off her day with a little massage and calmness.
Oh, man, you know what? It's crazy, the contrast therapy thing. My husband, John, actually turned me on to it. I was like, I don't know about this whole thing. But, man, Aaron, I think it really works. It does something. My body, I feel rejuvenated, man. I've been out here. It's a marathon day out here, and I'm feeling pretty good, man.
You know what's crazy about that, though, Lauren?
What's crazy?
I feel on top of the world, and I didn't do any of it.
Yeah, you gave us the cold shoulder, my friend. I mean...
I see what you did there.
I know. You know what? All week we were hyping this thing up and like, oh, confirming, and you were like, I never confirmed anything. I ain't doing it.
I ain't doing it.
Lol, boo.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, Lauren.
Okay, well.
Barnes, nothing there on a 2nd and 23. And Mario Winston makes the tackle. First time that we've said his name. So 3rd down, and Baylor is out of timeouts. TCU will have to snap this football before the 2-minute timeout. And we're coming up on a 3-hour 4th quarter because of 3, count that, 1, 2, 3 weather delays. And the wild thing is, it's actually led to a very pleasant day here in Fort Worth. And this is a smart play, just keep it on the ground. And that will take us to the 2-minute timeout. And we'll have 4th down on the other side. TCU trying to close this one out and stay alive in the race for the Big 12 title. 4th quarter, TCU up on Baylor 42-29. Lower Galindo, Aaron Murray, Lauren Sisler. A little trivia, Aaron. Okay, since 2017, how many teams do you think have won a game when they were trailing by 21 with under 5 minutes to play?
So many?
Yep. How many have won? 2. Very close. 1. Washington State beat Boise State back in 2017. So 4th and 20. This is a give the football away situation for TCU. And it will be complete scramble mode for Baylor, who scored and got the 2-point conversion to make it a 13-point game. They bring the heat. The punt is off. Cameron will not get away from the tackle. And he is brought down by Cal Keeler, who's had a couple of big hits here in the fourth quarter.
Let's look at the quarterback play this afternoon, and it has been a lot of good for one side and well below expectations, especially the 2 interceptions here after the weather delay for Robert Sawyer. And Josh Hoover just wishes every week was Baylor week, because he has 7 total touchdowns against the Baylor Bears in his career with no interceptions, and now is taking the lead in college football with those 21 touchdowns.
Sawyer Robertson now backed up, taking this snap from the end zone. And another completion to Ashton Hawkins.
I think right now, obviously for TCU, it's keep everything in front. This team obviously has to score 2 touchdowns in order to win this football game with 1:43 seconds. So keep them in front, let them dink and dunk.
Robertson is just gonna send it to the flat, and that hit the turf, so incomplete. Looking for his outlet, Michael Turner.
And I think for Sawyer right now is obviously you cannot take a sack at all while the ball is in your possession here under 2 minutes. And I think goal right now is obviously get the first down, but from there, you gotta start getting some chunk plays. 5 yards and getting out of bounds, it's just not gonna get it done down 2 scores.
Gotta stay away from number 3 in purple, Caleb Elarms-Orr. See him there at linebacker. He's at 16 tackles today. Trigg, that's gonna cap just what was an unexpectedly frustrating day for the most dominant tight end in college football. Talking about a young man that leads all FBS tight ends in yards and is second in catches and touchdowns. TCU defense led there by Elarms-Orr and Jamel Johnson in this game. They wondered aloud in our production meeting if the linebackers would be fast enough, the DBs would be big enough to stay with Michael Trigg, and the answers to both, yes. 4th and 4, ball game right here. There's Trigg. Trigg spins out of a tackle, wants to fight, and picks up the first down. Only his 2nd catch of the day.
God, with the balls in his hand, he is so special. Just not enough of those opportunities. So the last game, this guy's out here catching it with one hand, snagging it. It's a different ball game.
And that's 3 catches for Trigg. Cameron coming back at the 35 and makes the catch. Forced out of bounds. Clock will stop.
So you need more of those. I need the 10-plus yard passes down the field. And then you obviously love it when they're able to get out of bounds. Again, for TCU, I'm just protecting the sidelines as best I can, funnel everything to the inside, rallying tackle, keep the clock moving.
Safeties have played awesome. Clark and Johnson. Here comes Clark on the blitz. Deal almost got him, just has to heave this one away. I don't know if it's going to show up in the box score, but Devin Deal has destroyed so many opportunities for Robertson to feel comfortable in the pocket.
Oh, he's been an absolute nightmare. That was a big play, though, by Robinson, be able to throw the football away. But Levin, when no one passes situations, you have to keep your eyes. Look at the bend to get around the right tackle. They just move him around so much. He's outside, he's inside, he's at linebacker.
Robertson rolling and throwing, looking sideline, and making the catch is Ashton Hawkins. That's catch number 7, ties him with Cameron for the most for Baylor. TCU also with 2 with 7. Dwyer and McAllister under a minute. Number 8 for Cameron. First down, clock will momentarily stop for the ball to be spotted, and Baylor has to go. They have to find the end zone and get an onside and then let it fly for the end zone. Precious seconds ticking off. Pressure inside, Elarms-Orr with the hit and blows up that play.
Too interesting. TCU with 3 timeouts, and you see a defense that is worn out. I would not be surprised right there, since it is a stoppage of clock, if they might have used one of those timeouts just to give their defense a breather real quick.
Baylor won this rivalry a season ago, motivating TCU to get back in the win column. Robertson uncomfortable as he lets it fly. Is it caught? Yes! Cole Wilson, full extension for the touchdown. 35 yards from Sawyer Robertson. What resilience.
Well, there's the big play that you wanted to see. Take a shot down the field, start seeing him throw 10 yards, 15 yards, and then get your one-on-one. Let's check and make sure it was a catch. Full extension, cradles it.
Looks like a catch to me.
Looks like a catch to me. The ball can still move a little bit.
So this is where it's really interesting, since Baylor went for the 2-point conversion after their last touchdown. An extra point now makes this a 6-point game.
Take another look. I think his arms underneath it, and they confirm, yes, touchdown.
Completes the catch out of bounds as well. Extra point, good. 10-play, 95-yard drive that only takes 1 minute and 19 seconds off the clock. Now, the onside kick is coming up, but let's see how Cole Wilson scored this.
I mean, you just cannot let anyone over the top. 17 gets caught with his eyes in the backfield, and then Cole Wilson says, all right, I'll just run right by you. With this speed, extension, great catch, and concentration. Then a beautiful pass from Sawyer Robinson, and man, you just think back to that decision to run Hoover, or give Hoover at least the opportunity to run with the fumble and then recovery, scoop and score for the touchdown. This game would be over by then if it wasn't for that play just a few minutes ago.
This one comes down to Hayden Arnold and the onside kick team. So Arnold had a gem of a kick the last time they attempted this. It was Chase Curtis, the tight end, number 81 for TCU, that recovered. Joseph Manjack is over there with him. If Arnold can square this one up and get a bounce, Baylor's gonna have a chance. It's free. Baylor got it. The Bears will have a chance to win this. Jacob Redding does it again. The man that fueled Baylor to the comeback win against Kansas State 2 weeks ago with a 66-yard pick six has scooped up the onside kick.
Rolling on the field as the ball was touched by the receiving team and recovered by the kicking team. First down, Baylor.
Off the hands of Joseph Manjack. And Baylor will take over at the 48-yard line. 27 seconds left. No timeouts.
This is wild. Oh my goodness, who would have thunk it?
This is why you don't leave after that third weather delay of the fourth quarter. Robertson cannot take a sack. All sorts of time. A flag is down. He's dropped. Ball is out. Baylor recovers. Now this could result, if it's against Baylor, in a 10-second runoff.
Well, there was a receiver, so it's not going to be intentional grounding. There's a running back in the backfield, so just a hold.
Wow. You just gave yourself a chance. And then a self-inflicted wound on a hold when you cannot have one.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Holding offense, number 66. Okay. 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
All right, so right now you have 19 seconds to go. So as an offense, you're thinking we need to get into territory to be able to heave a Hail Mary. And if you get a good completion here and get out of bounds, you may have time to get 2 shots in the end zone, but it's got to be a catch and get down or catch and get out of bounds.
Here comes the TCU pressure. Deal picked off. That will do it. Nnamdi Obi-Izor seals the rivalry win for the Horned Frogs.
Man, that got a little interesting, didn't it? Woo-wee.
Horned Frogs will be able to take a knee and celebrate this win.
And breathe again, because that was way too close for comfort, being up 21 points to look up and see, oh my goodness, we may lose this football game all of a sudden with a monster, horrific decision to give your quarterback an opportunity to run it and fumble and give Baylor somewhat life here late in the 4th quarter, but they survived.
3 interception day for Sawyer Robertson. Dave Aranda said in the past when they've got hot, it's because they're winning the turnover margin. Did not do that in this game. And for the 9th time in the last 11 meetings, TCU wins the rivalry. And they are still alive in this race for the Big 12, moving to 2-2 in conference play. Baylor drops to 2-2. This game had just about everything and a lot of the unexpected, including 3 weather delays in the 4th quarter alone. So a game that kicked at 11:02 a.m. Central local time wraps up at 4:53 local time. TCU wins it 42-36 for Lauren Sisler and Aaron Murray. I'm Lowell Galindo. Thank you so much for watching Big 12 football.